Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and get this rolling. Fingers crossed, everything's working again. We have both YouTube audience and Twitch audience today, so hello everybody. We are going to be continuing work on our volcano project. This thing is going to take a lot of time. I've already spent a few hours today working on this thing, and we got a good, decent chunk done, but there is still so much more to do. Hello, Sharky. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming and stopping by. There is still so much more work for us to do here, so we are going to try and knock out as much as we can, hopefully without blowing things up in the process with all these mobs down here. But I have basically one section of the volcano done right now, and we're going to try and get a couple more sections done. I think we're going to focus on the lower bits where like all the green is, and then we'll focus on the upper parts of the volcano. But it's a little dangerous right now, so I might try and find a way to sleep the night away before we start this. We should have dual chat working as well, and that should be popping up on the stream. Spent a little bit of time trying to get that ready. Hello, Lottie. And hello, Groms. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's a little big. That's not even the top of it. We can go full schematic. And the reason we're not running shaders... Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. The reason we're not running shaders is because it's very glitchy whenever shaders are turned on. So we will have to forego that for the time being. Oh, this is really unfortunate. This is all of the junk that we collected mining out the little bits and pieces that we had to clear out for this volcano. That's okay. At least it didn't kill us. Yeah, this should be a very fun project. We're going to try and get the main volcano build done for the next hardcore episode, and then there is sort of a bartering farm that I want to attach to it in a fun and special way that is going to require a bit more time and attention. So we're going to split this project up into 2 different episodes. Right now we're working on the first episode and getting back to a decent content schedule. But I need this out. I need a bit more food, and let's get our bed so we can avoid any more creeper mishaps. How's everyone doing today? It's been a pretty good day for me so far. Not too much going on. Went to the gym like normal. Nothing really different about that. I did get incredibly sweaty today. I did not appreciate that. I was like dripping sweat, and it was very uncomfortable. But we went and we had fun. And I'm excited to get this project underway. There's a lot to do, and I mean, it doesn't matter how quickly we get it done, but I'd like to do it somewhat quickly. Yeah, and you'll have to let me know if we need to turn up the music or make any adjustments. So there's more junk in my inventory than I thought. It's probably okay for now. Sorry, what's the bartering farm? So a bartering farm is something with piglins, and if you feed them gold, they will drop a random item, and we want to collect those random items because one of those just happens to be blackstone. And blackstone is something that we need a lot of, and I'm really sick of collecting it manually in the nether. A bartering farm isn't like the fastest way of getting blackstone, but it is the easiest. So it's kind of a bit of a trade-off there. We'll have to do a little bit more AFK at the gold farm and bartering farm, but since they'll be in the same area, we can AFK both at the same time and just passively get blackstone. So that's cool. Lightmatica printer cheating. I do not, because of my goal in this world is to create something cool and unique and something rich with storytelling, and spending a bunch of my time being very meticulous with placing blocks and having to crouch and, you know, do a bunch of tasks that are going to take a lot longer doing it like the normal way. I'm just going to waste more time than I could be spending on creating more builds or working on videos. and I think it's a trade-off that I'm okay with for the time being. I don't think it's super cheaty. Like, if I were to have this world and not be making any content in it, I definitely wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing any kind of creative planning. I wouldn't be doing any Lightmatica nonsense like this. Like, this is just ridiculous. But, I mean, I've spent already, I think, like 12 hours just gathering the resources for this project. And then already we've spent about 3 hours building, and that was just this small section here. It would have taken at least 3 times that amount of time to do that same amount of work. So there are some trade-offs that I'm willing to accept in the name of content creation. And it lets me work on these like bigger projects for videos, which I think are pretty fun. There's more stuff that I want to do in creative. We were talking about yesterday on yesterday's stream. There's more like creative centric projects that I want to work on. So those are going to be easy for me to do since we won't be copying them into a hardcore world and spending a bunch of time on that. We can just focus on getting a fun video out centered around a cool build. And that's kind of where we're moving into. Tried to play hardcore worlds and died so many times due to dumb stuff because I was nervous and it was insane. Yeah, there's been some very close calls. Sorry, I'm just moving my chat here so I can see it a little bit better. There's definitely been some close calls in this world, and we were also talking about it yesterday. Why I don't have like netherite and totems yet is just because I enjoy that little extra challenge, and I feel like totems are already on top of everything else that we're doing with like Lightmatica. We're already pretty much on easy mode, and if we were to add totems into the mix, it would be even easier. And I feel like the way that I play, my playstyle with this shield that I have on right now, is very strategic, and it keeps me very safe. The only thing that a totem would really protect me from is stupidity when like flying or weird game bugs that might kill me. But if it comes down to a fight, I just turn into an idiot if I have a totem on. And I play much better with a shield. So that's kind of why I haven't wanted to get totems yet. It's a bit too easy. Doesn't really fit my playstyle. I'm afraid it would end up killing me in the long run. And, it's just something a little bit different. A little extra challenge to kind of balance out the building that we're doing. And then netherite. I think I do want to get netherite at some point, but I play with this armor resource pack on. That makes the armor look super cool. And the netherite version of the armor isn't my favorite. I really like the way that the diamond looks, and I want to keep it for as long as possible. And honestly, I've been looking into ways like how to keep the diamond armor. We might end up going the modded route and have like I forget what it's called. Something like trinkets mod, where you can have multiple like layers of armor. So you have your netherite, which would be the actual armor on, and then I could do whatever I want for like a show piece of armor that like wouldn't actually give me any benefits, but would show on my character the diamond if I wanted to keep that, but then underneath would be the netherite. So that's something that I want to think about more and potentially explore in the future. But we shall see. I mean, sorry, not easy place. I mean printer, like where it places blocks in a 5. Oh, yeah, that's a little too cheaty, I think. I mean, I understand it to an extent because you already put the effort into building it in creative mode, but I'm also, running around this build now and making sure I've got my eye on every single block that I designed in the creative world. So I think the printer might be a little bit too cheaty. But I do think that, it's a sandbox game. So if people prefer that and that's their playstyle, then by all means, go ahead. Because they did, as long as it is, like their build, they put the effort into creating it, then I don't see really an issue with how they get it into their worlds. But at some point, you just have to question whether it's worth just playing in creative or if, survival is your game mode. Best promotion on Streambot. I don't know if that's a bot or not. Never get far enough in the game to use totems. Yeah. We're going to ban them. I think the chat's working out okay. The multi-chat, I don't know how many people are on YouTube right now, but I think we have multi-chat set up okay. And there's a balance that I found with the Lightmatica projects. So I will come back and do like survival centric things with this build. So like I intend on doing a bunch of ground coverage in survival. Like you can see there's no grass or leaves or anything on the ground underneath where these trees are going to be. That's going to change once we get everything in. I want to come back through and do a segment where we are building that stuff ourselves in survival without, you know, the use of creative mode. So there are some trade-offs that I try and give myself. Bit of leeway, and you know, it kind of helps create an engaging episode too. So we're not just like, oh, here's this build that I created, and here it is now in a 20-second time lapse. I think that's a little stupid. We're also going to come through and do a bit of better texturing. I didn't love how some of these segments turned out. I also really like having the ability to just turn on and off the functionality of Easy Place. No, that's wrong. And see, if it weren't on, I would be doing so much more fiddling with the blocks and finding the right ones, and it would take so much more time. And time is something I don't have a lot of. I want to make content. I don't want to be spending a whole bunch of time placing blocks. I'm excited though. This project is the first one back in our world for, I guess, the summer, because we've been gone a while. And I am excited to have this here. I think it's kind of a fun out of left field project for us. It doesn't really fit anything else that we've done in the world so far, and that's completely okay. I like the idea of having different areas for different styles or whatnot. I have no idea where that skeleton is. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so multi-chat is working perfect. Just making sure. Yeah, I'm back to the, Oh, hey, Voked. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I appreciate the love. Yeah, we are working on the next hardcore project. And back to, like, the totem discussion, there is... If I do end up getting totems at some point in this world, I think I want to do it in a fun way, where we're not just, like, we don't have a raid farm, and then that's it. There's a fun twist that I've been wanting to put on raid farms for a while that I think would be really fun and incorporate well into this world. So later down the line, you know, like, oh, there's a hole there. A couple, maybe like 10 episodes from now. I don't want to give a quote without it being wrong. But in a while, I'd like to work on something like that. I think it could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that makes it, other than like these little patches here on the upper parts of the volcano, which I don't feel like struggling to get to right now, most of the left half is done. And I think we just need to focus on the right side now. A lot of this beach I left very clean because I really didn't like the look of it whenever it was cluttered. And I wanted this to be like a very nice and peaceful island. So it might be like a little plain, but I feel like there's going to be enough going on with the forest and all the palm trees and stuff that it'll be okay. Lightmatica for texturing. How did you get the different blocks so splotchy and less random? So actually, we go into it in the episode. I go into how I design the island with Axiom. Axiom is the mod that basically allowed me to design all of this and do all the texturing and basically everything for this build. So we are going to go over that in the episode. You can see a little bit behind the scenes as to like my ideation, my decisions, the buttons that I use in that mod. It's a little complicated, but it is kind of a fun way to get some understanding behind this. Yeah. No, you're fine. Yeah, Axiom is the mod. And it was kind of hard to figure out how to record and talk about that, because a lot of the times I feel my creativity comes in like waves. So like I will basically work on something for like an hour and then get up and do something and come back to it, or, you know, just completely change pace, or I'll, even if it's within the same build, I'll just go back and forth between different segments of it. And it doesn't really make for a strong watch or an easy watch whenever it's translated into video form. So it was a little bit of a challenge to work out, but I think we got there. And it's something that I'm still learning too. The whole reason that we're doing like this project instead of doing something over in our main area is because I want to do something in our main area that's just huge. Like, I want to do a huge terraforming project there, and I feel like I'm not good enough at terraforming yet. So this island is sort of like practice before we move on to the important parts of our world. What is your thought process when you build these big builds? I feel like it depends on the build itself. So like this one, typically, I will find inspiration first, or, you know, base it off of one main idea. Like the prison, for example, I had that idea just randomly. I was just sketching, and I could actually, now we have face cam on, I can show you guys. So I do sketches occasionally, and I was just doing random sketches. I gotta find it now. A while back, and I just had this, like, whenever it comes to hardcore especially, you kind of have to center it around what the thumbnail is going to look like. And I'm not let me say that I am not the best artist, so this is going to be a little sloppy looking, but I try and focus on what the thumbnail is going to look like. And so I sketched out this little concept for just a prison. I wasn't sure what to put in it. I was kind of back and forth on what the episode concept should be. And so I just sketched out on the side there. I don't know if I can make sure I can see this right. So right there, you can see there's like the thumbnail concept. And then from there, it developed into a bit of a bigger sketch. And then from the sketch, I took it into the world and practiced and built it a couple different times, a couple different ways, and eventually landed on the final design. But that's kind of my process, is find inspiration, find like that single idea, and then from there build. And usually the first, second, third attempt is not going to make it into a video. I feel like that's more common with builds, but I don't have enough experience really with anything, so it's hard to say what the big difference is. But like for this project, it might be because I'm a little bit more practiced now, or I just had such a clear like mental picture of what I wanted. I didn't look at any kind of inspiration. I mean, I know what an island looks like. I know what a volcano looks like. So I just kind of opened the world, found a place that looked cool, and started working. And terraforming is different than building because it's really up to like your interpretation of what it should look like. So there's no concrete rules that you're following. You're just kind of like terrain, and then that's it. So it was a bit easier of a process compared to the other builds that I've done. Gotta scroll back up. I missed a couple chats here. Pretty unknown Axiom feature called Auto Shade that basically uses your player position as the sun and shades the build according by color. Yes, we did use Auto Shade for this project, but I didn't use it for all of it. I basically used it as the starting point and then worked my way through with hand texturing and going through and like evenly blending out some of the areas. But like, it's going to be hard to see right now, but if you look at the thumbnail of the stream on YouTube, or the VOD from yesterday, the VOD from Monday, there is some clear like dark patterns on the volcano. Those ones I used Auto Shade for, and then went back through and touched it up and made it look good. Because I feel like the base Auto Shade just doesn't really do a perfect job, which is okay. You know, a bit of your own personal artistic touch is going to be a good infusion into the build. So I did end up using that for this. That's better than forcing yourself to post and build because of the videos will be much less quality if you did that. Yeah. It's good to be passionate or excited about what you're creating. That's kind of why I took a little bit of a break. I was a bit creatively burned out from this world. I also had been going for a while from some point in October until earlier this summer. I basically was nonstop working on videos. I had this old series. A lot of you probably hear from the hardcore series, but I had this old 50 trees series, and that was one post a day, one build a day for 50 days straight. And that took up basically, a couple months of my time. And then I immediately went into developing the hardcore world and just, straight went and kept going and didn't really give myself a break. So I kind of burned myself out, not really wanting to work on videos that I wasn't really passionate about, didn't have any ideas that brought me passion for the world. So I had to take a break. There was a video that I was working on that was supposed to be the episode 5, but now this is episode 5. That was going to be like a village project in the world, but I really wasn't feeling it. And it was a lot of building and a lot of different builds that I just wasn't vibing with. So kind of helped with or I guess helped push me towards a burnout as well. But a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and some room to breathe. And we are back, and I feel pretty good about it. I'm excited. Hey, Fizzly. Good to see you here. Enjoy your dinner. You had popcorn for dinner. I have yet to have dinner. I will eat after stream. Got a lobster a little bit spoiled. Nice. I don't think I've ever had lobster, actually. Creative burnout sucks. I had to take a couple of months off my story-heavy world to be excited to play in it again. Yeah. Yeah, we did make a spoilers post on it. That was the original project idea for this episode, but we're pivoting. We'll be back to doing something with a village at some point, but right now we're focusing on getting this done, which is going to be the next 2 episodes. So the first episode, volcano. Second episode, we're going to do a temple off the back of the volcano and build a bartering farm inside of it. And then after that, we will get to sort of a village project, I think. But we shall see. I think maybe I just don't like creating villages of the scale that I was working on. I should put this on. Just in case. Should be a fun time, though. I'm excited for... there's a lot of, future plans that I want to work on, but there's not enough time, and I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself here. So we're going to try and take it one step at a time. Also hope the camera isn't too jerky for you guys. I'm a little worried about that. I could be too flippy sometimes. Let's see, I think I need more moss, but I think I have, yeah, one more shulker. A lot of this area too, I basically gave up on the texturing and the terraining, like how it looks on this half of the island, because I had some plans and then those plans changed and I just needed a way for this to look good. Good enough, I suppose, for the video. So we will have to do a lot of extra work after this is done to actually finish this project. But there are, I want to add, archipelago islands to this volcano, so it's not just, one lonely island. We are built off of the coast, so it kind of makes sense, but I feel like it'd be more fun to have a bunch of islands surrounding it, but that's a lot of work, and I just kind of want to get the main idea across, and I don't want this episode to take me forever, since it's been so long already. Is my real name Coda? Coda is a nickname, yeah. I am authentically, genuinely me. And yeah, Coda with the D, Coda, I don't really care. It all sounds the same whenever you say it. But it is spelled with a T, but again, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's all just sounds. So yeah, most of this side of the island is just moss, but we can come through with more materials later and actually get some texturing done. Maybe put some more trees down here. I wasn't really too focused on this part of the island. Also, I feel like it was hard to nail a certain like rock formation style that I really liked. You'll see if you are, I guess, adept in rocks, or like you have experienced terraforming, you could see that there are like a few different styles of rocks here on the island, and I wasn't sure which one to go with. We have some more texturing to do on some of the rocks. Like I left all of these as just stone, so there's still quite a bit to do, unfortunately. But most of it can be just say, you know, we'll leave it for next time so we can focus on actually getting the bulk out into an episode, and we're not waiting another month or so. I'm hoping another 2 weeks should give me time to finish this, work on the final touches, and then finish the editing, which is my favorite part. I love editing so much. I really need to just get an editor, but it kind of costs money. I think that makes it pretty unique. Yeah, it could. It could also make it feel like, you know, it's all over the place, but I'll take unique over chaotic. It'll be good though. There's a I think once we add the underbrush layer, like after we put all the trees in, I think it'll really help it feel more like an island. But I have yet to decide like a style for the underbrush. I think we're gonna go take a field trip to Corralis's base from season 10, where he did his jungle base, and we're gonna get some inspiration from that. And then we're just gonna pack a couple shulkers full of those materials and work our way across the forest. I had a lot of fun like working on the trees. I'm excited to build some more trees when the new update comes out and we get some fall inspired ones. I don't know specifically if I want to make like a an autumn forest, but that could be really fun. Could be a fun fall project to work on in the world. There's a lot more that I want to do like with viewers and like on stream, and I think it's going to help me alleviate some of that burnout, so we can do stuff together and it won't feel like I'm only performing for a camera. We can be here hanging out with each other. And oh yep, I knew that was coming. I think it'll be fun. 50 trees in 50 days helped me learn how to make terrain better. That's good. Yeah, as you can see, we're putting some of that information to really do that. We're putting some of that knowledge that we learned to use, which I'm also going to talk about in the video. We'll talk about the trees, why they are the trees that I chose, and how I came up with some of the designs. Get a closer look at that too. I think we made some good ones. It's hard to mess up a palm tree, so that doesn't really count. But I like the shape and the way that the eucalyptus trees came out. I just wish that there was more opportunities to use them throughout a world. Eucalyptus are like a very tropical tree, so they grow very commonly in Australia. I think that's like 70% of their trees are some species of eucalyptus, but I could be misremembering that statistic. Missed opportunity to fill the volcano with a layer of lava and turn it into a massive dripstone lava farm. Yeah, it's funny you should say that. We are going to put lava in the volcano. This is something we're gonna do with the bartering farm. But the current gold farm, let me turn this off real fast. So the gold farm right there is going to fall into the center of the volcano, and that is going to be a lava pit. And then we're going to build a temple kind of off the back, so we'll be able to see that happening in the middle, and then we'll all connect it to a bartering farm somehow. But there will be lava. We are going to use some of the new sulfur springs, the geysers, that's what they're called, if we can actually find them. I have flown around a little bit and yet to see one, but we are going to, by the end of this episode, have our hands on a couple of them, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Shouldn't be that hard to find, though. Yeah, there's still so many layers to do on this project, and it feels kind of bad shipping a unfinished build, but sometimes you gotta do that. And we gotta rip the content band-aid off. I gotta get back into it. So I can suck it up in the meantime. And it gives us an excuse to have a lot of fun working streams and figuring stuff out. Like, I do want to start streaming more frequently. We're going to try and stream at least once a week. In the cards, it lined up that we could do twice this week, but next week, unfortunately, we are only going to be able to stream on Monday. But it'll be around the same time, and it'll be more of a creative building stream. So we get to practice a little bit. We're going to try our best to work out some kind of a design for the temple and hopefully have a good time. And it'll be a nice break because at that point, ideally, I'll be done with the build and just working on editing. And it'll be a nice editing break because I love editing. It's so fun. Yeah, but like this section here, I just completely cut off because we're only going to do like this half side, and then we're going to figure out what to do with the rest of it at some point, but I'm not stressed about it right now. But it is going to look extremely ugly. You guys just have to not judge it. Okay. There's a gnat in here. That back. It's like midnight for me. I got to go to sleep. I have work tomorrow, but it's fun chatting with you. It's good to see you, and it's been fun chatting with you. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, go to sleep. I know it's a bit of an inconvenient time, but it's a time I just have to stream when I have the ability to. So I appreciate you being here. This will be fun though. We also talked about like different streams that we could do yesterday. Some kind of like fun designy streams. We could do some mini game streams, maybe some viewer streams, you know, with some of you guys. But all of it's up in the air. We just have to start and work out what we're going to do later. It's the easiest way to get it done. Also, I hope my voice doesn't give out today. It kind of lasted last time. We went for a lot longer than I expected last time. I'm hoping we go for about 3 hours today, but it might be longer depending on how much we can get done. I spent about 3 hours on this earlier today and only got one section of the island done, so we shall see. But 3 or 4 hours, I think, is a good number. Why the chicken branding? That's a good question. Oh, that's a weighted question. I will... Oh, we also have another weighted question after that. Okay. So the chicken, my first series ever on YouTube was a survival series. It's still up on YouTube if you want to go watch it. But the first episode, I rescued a chicken from the sea. It was just a random chicken that was like out floating somewhere off of where I was going to build my base. And I rescued him and named him the Admiral because, you know, he was out at sea and the Admiral seemed like a fitting name. And he kind of became like my chicken pet throughout the series. And I found him a wife, built him a ship. It's a whole backstory, I suppose. But it basically turned into the channel banner where I have, you know, me sitting on a beach with the Admiral. And we're just chilling, and then from there it kind of evolved into being more of a branded thing. But I think it works. I kind of enjoy the whimsical nature of having chickens as your mascot. And then the next question, let me get this organized. So much more dramatic than I was expecting. Yeah, I know. But, you know, there's some backstories. I just kind of had to pick something, and I thought it was funny enough, and I enjoyed the ability to use it in, or like use the icon in several different things, and it kind of fit within Minecraft, so it worked out. And then J Money is asking, how did you develop your editing style? From my perspective as a viewer, it gives a different viewing experience than most other creators, has a balance of suspense, storytelling, and creative direction compared to the typical video style. Thank you. That means a lot. Especially now that I'm like considering working with an editor. I know that's one of the biggest things that I'm worried about is losing some of that style. I would say my editing is mostly influenced by what I watch and what I consume. So I watch a lot of Hermitcraft. I'm a big fan of like that kind of content. I don't really watch any of the other Minecraft creators in the space. So I feel like my style is probably different from that, and is influenced by the fact that I don't, you know, consume any of that kind of content. but also it developed, I think most the storytelling developed very strongly whenever I was doing my modded series, and that was a very like storytelling focused series. So it really helped me develop like the chapters that you see in hardcore. That was influenced by the modded series. A lot of like the cinematics and stuff kind of just developed over time. I really like movies, so you know, cinematography is really interesting to me, and that kind of influences like some of the shot, the choreography and whatnot. And then just I guess the development of the episodes, like the flow of them, the pacing and all that was influenced by the modded series, because that stuff that was my second attempt at the most recent one was my second attempt at creating a modded series. And when I went in the first one, I kind of went in blind with everything, and I didn't really know like what I was doing, what the mods were. So the second time around, I had more of a determination to understand what I was getting myself into, and that required a lot of research and a lot of planning, and like this episode we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, and it'll lead into this. And it was like way overthinking the Let's Play experience, but it did help me kind of understand the pacing of storytelling and how we can go from like naturally from point A to point B and develop things. And it was a big help practice wise. And then I took that information and everything that I learned from my first series on YouTube, which was that survival series, and just kind of put it all together. So it is a uniquely me style, but it's something that I've developed over the 4 or 5 years that I've been on YouTube. So it's a bit of a weighted understanding and hard to explain, I suppose. But I'd say a lot of it is focused on my love of movies and understanding storytelling and pacing and all that, and then the content that I consume as well, because that influences it. Anything that you do, no matter what it is, whatever you consume is what you become. My favorite movie, I don't know if I have a favorite movie. There are like too many good ones to pick a favorite. I used to have I guess my old answer was Baby Driver by Edgar Wright. It's a very incredible combination of storytelling, character development, music integration, and just all in all fun in a movie. And I really enjoyed that. And I think Edgar Wright he was like one of the first people to start taking music as more of like a diegetic approach in movies. Like, so that means like the music that you hear in the movies is also happening in the scene. Like there could be a radio on that the characters are listening to. It influences the world as well as the viewer. And I think that was a very revolutionary take for it. I think he first introduced it in Shaun of the Dead with one scene where I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, it's kind of old. There's a scene where they're in the bar and they're basically ganging up on a zombie, and the beats line up with the jukebox that's playing in the bar that they're in it's a Queen song. I don't remember which one it is. It might be, I don't remember which Queen song it is, but the beats of the hits of the like the characters beating on the zombie line up with the music. And that was kind of like the first introduction of, I think, him to that film style. And I don't know if he's like the first person ever to do it technically, but he developed it from there. And I think the biggest culmination of like music combined into the story and the plot and everything was Baby Driver, because that movie, if you don't know, was about a not deaf, I guess he has tinnitus. The main character, protagonist, he has tinnitus, and he is basically in debt to this mobster who is played by Kevin, don't remember his name, but he's basically in debt to this guy to pay off some stuff that he like vandalized or ruined or something. And the way that he pays that off is by being a heist driver. So he is driving all these different people for heists, and all the while listening to his music, and he's like an incredible driver. And all the music, oh crap, all of the music syncs up with the action scenes. It is all stuff that he's listening to in the movie, or like it as the events of the movie are progressing, and it was very like influential, I suppose, for me understanding the combination, the medley of music and storytelling. It's a really fun movie if you haven't watched it. The actor has done some bad things, so I wouldn't necessarily go out and support him, but the movie itself is great if you can separate the art from the movie, or the art from the artist. But that was like one of my bigger early influences, and now it's just kind of developed into, I like lots of movies, and I don't think I could pick a favorite one. But back on Baby Driver, I think the introduction of music also helped kind of influence my editing style and how music melds into the story as well. I don't know if I have like a favorite show even either. Actually, that's not true. My favorite show is Atla. We were talking about that yesterday. Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best show ever. Yeah, I like movies. I think if YouTube didn't work out, I might have gone into the movies somehow. And I've always thought it'd be fun to work on one. But I've always found them really intriguing. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's the my natural storyteller genes that really enjoy them. But they are fun. I don't even know when I started like over analyzing movies. It probably started because of YouTube. Because I used to watch like CinemaSins and Cinema Wins. I don't know if you guys know what those channels are, but they basically are like critique channels, I suppose, on movies. One of them is a very positive critique channel, and the other is a very negative critique channel. And it kind of helped me understand that there were like more layers to movies, and kind of slow down my understanding and break apart the different aspects of storytelling and filmmaking. And they were also enjoyable to watch and kind of funny most of the time. And it kind of lets you like watch a movie without watching a movie in a weird way. Like you get to go through and basically see a summary of everything that happens with like scenes from the movie. So it's a fun way to kind of catch some movies I hadn't seen before and know a little bit about them before going into them. I don't even know when that started. I need more stone. Oh, I have my elytra on. That's okay. The Chernobyl miniseries is my favorite piece of television. If you haven't seen it, no, that's an incredible series. Yeah, I love that. We actually recently rewatched that. That is a great series. 10 out of 10 recommend. Absolutely love it. Dead Poet Society is really good. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a very heart-wrenching film, especially if you're like empathetic, you know. You're very sympathetic to the main. I guess there isn't really a main protagonist, but the main crew is very relatable to most people. There's someone for everyone, so it's a very commonly enjoyed movie because there is a lot to relate to, a lot to be able to relate to. That's a good one. I do really like that movie. Uh-oh. Leave me alone. Yeah, I feel like I could talk about movies all day long. We were talking about movies yesterday and actors and a bunch of different stuff, but I do stand by, I think Atla is my favorite show ever, because there's so many like different, I guess, categories to what defines like a favorite show, favorite movie. Like is it a movie that I can watch constantly and not get bored of it, or is it just that one movie that I pull out whenever I need my life changed again for the however manyth time that I've watched it? It just continues to be that movie, you know? So I feel like there's different categories. Can't block with my shield, and it keeps wanting to place blocks. But also, I'm a movie nerd, and that's definitely the over-analytical answer. A little pretentious, I know. But they're fun. I like movies. Oh, hey, jockey. Got to be very careful. I think main goal, we're going to try and get island done. And then depending on how much time, we might start on the trees, or we might just keep going. Ever seen the new movie Odyssey? Yes, we watched that last week, I think. I enjoyed it, and I like Christopher Nolan, but I will not be watching the Odyssey for a long time again. Usually, like Nolan films or any good films, I'll go and see a couple times in theaters, depending on, you know, if I can or not. And I would typically, for a Nolan film, I would go see it multiple times, but I think The Odyssey was just a bit too long for me, and some of the scenes were a little too uncomfortable. How am I out of moss again? Oh, okay. Gotta make sure that creeper doesn't blow up. Some of it, it's not a horror movie, but there are some uncomfortable scenes that make it hard to watch multiple times, I think. And then it's just so long. It's a really good payoff, but it is just so long. And there's so much that happens that it's like, by the time you get to the end, you're like, kind of relieved and ready for it to be over. And A Friend is a must-watch for me. Oh, Frieren? Is that how you say that? Doesn't get enough. I don't think I've heard of that. I liked it, but the people turning into pigs was just disturbing. Yeah, that scene, and then that was definitely the worst scene. And then the Cyclops scene was kind of, ew. The noise that it made was really uncomfortable. But other than that, it was really good. Uncomfortable scenes, yeah. Yeah, well, obviously, there's not really spoiling the Odyssey. It's been out for like 3,000 years. So if you haven't seen it yet, be warned that the scene with Circe, she is a witch that enchants Odysseus's men. She turns them into pigs. And Christopher Nolan doesn't like using CGI. So that scene is very realistic and very graphic. They use like animatronics and figurines and stuff. And it's just a very uncomfortable body horror aspect of the film that's just icky. It's icky. And it's really hard to watch multiple times. And then they make the noise, the sound design too is really uncomfortable. It's just all around. It's a great movie. If I were to watch it again, it would be on streaming so that I can skip those scenes and some of the parts with the I guess the Cyclops wasn't too bad, but the noise that it made was really uncomfortable, especially like as a pet owner. Like I empathize with wounded animal noises, and it's just doesn't mesh well with me personally. It's an anime, but the vibe and the music composition is surreal. Okay, yeah, I'll have to write that down. Let me have things that I need to actually write down. Give me a second. What's it, is it on anything? Do you know? There's a lot of things that I have written down that are like on Crunchyroll, and I just haven't gotten Crunchyroll. Yeah, it was to make everyone uncomfortable. Where was it? Sorry for the pausing. It's like I have it and then I miss it. REN. Okay. Hopefully I spelled that right. Yeah, just a very overall uncomfortable experience. For that, I mean, it was like 10 minutes, maybe. And my wife went to the bathroom during it, so I had to be there alone. And I mean, she made the right call. She knew that what was coming. She looked it up before, like when's a good time to go to the bathroom. Thankfully, I didn't have to go at all during the movie, but yeah, I definitely would have picked that scene to leave out of my memory. I just pirated it, but I think season 1 is on Netflix. Oh, okay. I don't have Netflix either. And I'll figure it out. I also have like a backlog of things that I need to watch. I don't know how far I want to take like that portion over there. You have a bit of trees to cover. But I think if we just get this thumbnail ready, it won't be that big a deal. Yeah, there's a lot of good movies this year. This might be like one of the best years for movies ever. We had Project Hail Mary, incredible film. Went and saw that a couple times. We have The Odyssey now. We have Spider-Man at the end of this week, which we're going to go see next week. And then we have the new Hunger Games movie coming out in November. We have Clayface, which I'm kind of excited for, but I don't think it falls in the same category as everything else that I'm listing. And then Dune Part 3, which I am so stoked for. I cannot wait to go see that several times. I'm excited for the new Spider-Man. Very excited. There's been a wave of like creators that have seen the movie now. They had their early access screenings and they're all giving their spoiler-free reviews, and they're all positive about it. I at a point where I like don't really care about Marvel anymore, but Spider-Man, I will show up for Spider-Man because this looks like it's going to be a killer movie. And I am very excited for it. And we might go see it a couple times. The reason that we're able to go several times. Movie theaters are so expensive nowadays, but thankfully there is a local theater in our town. You can get a matinee ticket for $6, and their concessions are sort of fairly priced. You know, they still got to make their money somehow, but all in all, we go and we enjoy a movie for like 20 bucks, and that's including like drink, popcorn, whatever. It is so cool. So thankful that is near me. Yes, I will be seeing some of this in IMAX first, and then going in and seeing it on a slightly worse screen for a much better cost. Which is the way to do it, I think. You gotta get that one like really good experience, and then you just, you know, you've seen the movie before. You can watch it however you want after that. It's gonna be fun. I need to finish. I said this yesterday. Not yesterday, last stream. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. But I need to finish rereading Dune and get caught up for the new one. Super excited though. Dune Part 2 was like one of the first movies that I saw 3 times in theaters. And I would have seen it more if I could have convinced more people to go with me. But I kind of ran out of people and I don't want to go to movies alone. It was good though. Good time. And then we didn't have to wait forever for the third one to come out. Gotta love Denis for that. Dang, that's awesome. Movies here, New Zealand, are so expensive, like $25 for an adult. That's crazy. That's also from New Zealand. That's incredible. I have been looking at New Zealand to like go visit or potentially move at some point in my life. Do you like it there? Is it a nice country? I've done research, but of course, like a first-person perspective is always welcome. Yeah, $25 for a movie is crazy. Hey, Casper. So confused watching Dune Part 2. Should have recapped Part 1. Yeah. And Part 1 and Part 2 are completely different films. Like, they are just so different in style that it's kind of hard to understand that they're in the same universe if it weren't, you know, for the exact same characters and being on a desert planet. And that being the majority of the scene. But yeah, definitely should have gotten in with a recap. I didn't read the Dune books until Part 2 came out. And then right as like the hype was building for Part 2, I got the books and read the first 2.5. I guess like 2. I read 1 and 2 and then half of 3. And kind of stopped there. I need to read 3 again. But that recap really helped me, and then I watched a couple videos as well because I was really invested at that point. Yeah, I'd love to move to New Zealand. Well, if with more experience, like we'd obviously go and travel there first and see if we actually like it. But definitely don't want to be in the States the rest of my life. Pretty awesome place too. That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard nothing but positive things, but then there's like, you know, being from a different country and moving, there's always going to be, you know, the cost is going to be incredible. So it's like 10 years down the line maybe. And then just the occasional horror story that one couple had a really bad experience, but everyone else is completely fine. So I heard you guys don't have like Amazon. Cost of living is pretty high, and unfortunately jobs are pretty hard to get. Everyone moves to Australia for better opportunities. That's kind of funny. So yeah, I mean, like I've heard the cost of living is high, but I've done like economic comparisons, like I guess just asking Google. And they say that the cost of living were in like Auckland is very similar to where I currently live. So if hopefully YouTube continues to take off and that can be my main source of income, it won't be too bad because I won't need to find a job or anything. But it's very far down the line and just kind of a thought right now. But it is something I'm very interested in exploring because I've heard New Zealand is just absolutely beautiful. And the culture here in America right now is not great. So it would be nice to get rid of or get away from that. Yesterday I learned Twitch is a non-profit organization. I didn't know that. They do not act like a nonprofit organization. They make a lot of selfish decisions. I don't have any grounds to speak on it, though, because I'm obviously a very newbie streamer. And I have had almost zero experience with Twitch. This is historic. This is my second Twitch stream. Crazy times. But yeah, I probably don't have enough to speak on that. Enough knowledge to speak on something like that. That. We're coming through with like the lighter blocks first, and then we'll come through and do the darker sections later. But we might cap it off here. We're building this over a Badlands / jungle biome, by the way. If you weren't able to see, I can't reach that. Weren't able to see yesterday's stream. Yesterday, Monday, last stream. We have a lot to do on the back end. It's okay. Favorite streamer. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm in Wellington, awesome city and very pretty. Totally take it for granted. Hope you get to at least visit here soon. I would love to visit. Fingers crossed within like the next 2 years, if we can get something aligned. My wife and I have traveled quite a bit already. And it would be nice to, like, we're not shy to travel overseas, basically. So that's not really an issue. It's just kind of getting the funds and the time together. But it would be a very exciting adventure. I don't think I'd want to do any of like the Hobbit tours. I love Lord of the Rings. I love all that. But I feel like there's other cool things to see in New Zealand that aren't super touristy. And there's such a diverse landscape that you guys have out there. And it's so incredible. Messed that up. Okay. It's owned by Amazon, of course. I'm just surprised they're chill with losing money. I guess, okay, that makes a bit more sense that they're just not profitable. I was thinking non-profit like a like a helpful organization. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but like a charity as non-profitable, not just, you know, not making money. That makes sense as well, I think. It would be really nice to go to become a big enough streamer to go to like a TwitchCon or something. But I am saying that very selfishly because I just want to be able to have an excuse to go somewhere. I live in Kansas, in case you guys didn't know, and in Kansas, in the middle of the Middle West of the United States, there is nothing out here except for plains. When I drive somewhere, I am driving on a straight line past buildings or fields or cows. And there's nothing else out here. And it's so boring. And I'm really just itching to be somewhere more fun. Because I love me some outdoors. It'll be good though. We'll get out there someday. There is still, hopefully, a lot of life left to live. Fingers crossed though. I'm not gonna jinx myself. What are your favorite places that I've been to? Ooh. I would say, based off of, it kind of depends on the context of the trip as well. So I've been, I am a military child, although I'm not a child anymore. My dad is in the Air Force, and so that required us to move only a couple times. You know, we didn't move as much as, you know, other people do in the military. But their most, I guess, second to most recent move was to Okinawa, Japan. And that was kind of the first time that I, like, got out of the States. And, like, most of the time I just been around in different places. That's fine. And, like, visiting around the country. Not really any far west, but that doesn't really matter. And then they moved, well, I guess during their time in Okinawa, which I wasn't living with them, I was going to college. Bless you. My dog just sneezed. We had the opportunity to go to Hawaii because my little brothers, they developed some tics, like Tourette tics, and they didn't have a child neurologist or psychologist there in Okinawa, so they had the military had to fly my family to a place that had a child neurologist, psychologist, whatever it was. And the nearest place was Hawaii. And I wasn't living under the roof, so I didn't really get to qualify for that trip. But my parents bought me a ticket anyway. And I was able to... Oh, there's so many creepers. I was able to make my way to Hawaii. So contextually, I'd say Hawaii was really, really fun. Okinawa was very, very fun, but Hawaii was just like a nice, very chilled back experience. We got to do a lot of sightseeing. Everyone spoke English, which was nice, but I really liked going to Okinawa, and that was a fun time. The flight, not so fun, but the rest of it was a great time as well. But there's just some like very relaxing vibes about Hawaii that I was so honored to be able to experience. And that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I really appreciated. So that one, I think fondly on Hawaii the most. But I went to Okinawa 3 times? Twice. I went to Okinawa twice to visit my family. And both those times were really fun as well. The first time was very, emotional because that was the first time that I had seen my family in, I guess it had been like 5 months at that point. First time, of course, being away from them too. So it was kind of a harder hello, harder goodbye. But all in all, it was a very fun time. And then the second time, my wife was able to make it out with me. And we all got to spend a couple weeks in Okinawa doing a bunch of stuff. We also went to the aquarium in Okinawa, which I think is one of the best aquariums in the world. It's either like biggest or best, something like that. But that was an incredible experience as well. And then in Hawaii, we just kind of went around the island and hung out. We didn't have as much time as we did in Okinawa. But I don't remember what was one. I really just enjoyed the beach at Hawaii. And then the food was really good. There was like this breakfast cafe place right across from the hotel that we were staying at. And they had some incredible juice. Like, I know that's a weird thing to be excited about. But their juice was so good. It was so like fresh and refreshing, and their pancakes were incredible, and it's just the whole place was very nice. So yeah, there's a couple places like that. We've also been around to Knoxville, Tennessee. I visited my uncle there when they were living there. My wife and I got to go around like the Smoky Mountains. We got to do a couple things around Knoxville, go around downtown Knoxville, which is so beautiful. It's a very, very cool spot. I gotta turn this off so I can actually block. Downtown Knoxville is very beautiful. It's very peaceful too. Like usually downtowns, especially here where I live, the downtown is just icky. But in Knoxville is actually really beautiful. And they had a lot of like street art too. So that was fun. Where else? Where else? Can't think of anything off the top of my head. Those are kind of like the big 3 that I really enjoyed. Because at one point in time, we really wanted to move to Tennessee. Like, we just want to be out of Kansas, basically. So Tennessee was kind of the thought. And then I don't know where I got the idea from, but the brain bug came and started thinking about, what am I doing? Oh, we're editing. How are we doing? What? What are we doing? Okay, that was strange. Yeah, the brain bug came and I just started thinking about New Zealand for whatever reason. Stop coming out of everywhere. Just stop it. Haven't been here since he was first mining. Now we're, yeah. Yeah, we made a little bit of progress. We finished the mining and now we're working on getting everything in place. Blocks first, and then we'll work on the trees probably off camera. Unless we get a good chunk of this done here. I just got back from Okinawa for the second time being deployed there. It's a fun place, but the language barrier is hard to get used to. Yeah. And it also, you really have to like Japanese food. And me and my family, we like Japanese food, so that helped as well. But yeah, the language barrier, a lot of people in Okinawa are used to American presence because of the base there. There's several bases. There's like a Army, Air Force, and Marine base, I think. There might be one more too. But they are kind of used to the American presence. They don't like it necessarily. A lot of protesters at like all the bases all the time. But it's still a challenge. There's still that language barrier, and then the culture barrier too, because Japan is just so far different from the US and what I'm used to that that was a huge difference as well. In a good way, though. It was fun. It wasn't fun the first time that I went to Okinawa. I was by myself trying to figure out how to, travel across the country while also not having, or not country, but across the world, and not being able to like have service or speak the language of the people that are, I need to get help from. So I was in Tokyo trying to find my way to the next terminal, and I was basically like holding out my ticket to the security guards and like kind of trying to make a confused face, like, where do I go? And because it was my ticket was like half in Japanese, half in American or English, but all the signs were in Japanese, so I had no idea where to go. So I basically just had to lean on every single person I saw, and I basically went from one person to one person pointing me in a direction, and ended up on a bus going through downtown Tokyo to get to the next terminal. And that was a very fun experience. That was one of the few times during traveling where I was very stressed out, but I was also incredibly tired from the flight because it's just so disorienting. The jet lag is crazy. And I think I ended up arriving at like midday or something like that, but I left in the morning, so I'd spent 14 hours on a plane, and basically 5 daylight hours had passed. And so it was just a very disorienting experience all around. And we made it. We made it in the end. Went to Japan just recently. Souvenirs were bought. Yes. I think it would have been nice to be able to visit mainland Japan. We only made it to Okinawa. But there was still a lot of souvenirs that we got as well. I don't think I haven't. Oh, I do. Hold on. We have a Starbucks cup from Okinawa. I don't know if it's inverted or if you can see that, but we got a couple of things. Yeah, you can see that. That was cool. We also have these. I forget what they're called. Little shishas? Shisha dogs? Very cool though. We got a couple of souvenirs everywhere. Ugh. Oh, I lost the chat. Here you are. Back to that. It's also interesting the culture differences from Okinawa to mainland Japan. Yeah, I've heard it described like Okinawa is, if you're American, Okinawa is like our Hawaii, where it's like the mainland Japan's vacation area more than anything. And that was interesting to learn about. And it is a very relaxed culture once you get past all the protesting and language barrier and all that. Understand the struggles of Japanese airports and train stations. Yeah. Especially going from almost never having been on a train before in my life. Like, I think I might have been on 3 trains now. Not really understanding how like the bus system works either, and all the trams and stuff that they had is just all around a very confusing time. But I am still alive and we are still cooking it. And it was fun. It's a fun experience. I don't know. I really want to go to New Zealand, obviously, but there's also, I want to do like a European tour. So back on the TwitchCon thing, I think it'd be really fun to get an invite to TwitchCon in Rotterdam and go around, I forget what country that is, but near Amsterdam, and do some European stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun because I have yet to go to Europe yet. Yet to go to Europe yet. A little redundant. But that's on the bucket list. My parents also want to go to Europe. They want to do like a Scotland, British Isles, France. And I think that would be really fun. But they want to do it as like a retirement present for my dad, so I can't really convince them to let us tag along. I feel like I'd be encroaching a bit too much there. But I do want to do a European tour at some point. I think it'd be a lot of fun. going to Africa this fall. That's so cool. We're in Africa. There's a lot of cool spots. Also, I feel like Africa's a very diverse landscape. Like you think of Africa and you think of like maybe a savanna, but there's so much more. Switzerland would be cool too. Yeah, it's right by France. But I've heard Swiss people are kind of mean. We'll see. There's a... I think I'd want to go to Germany. I think that'd be really fun. Oh, I can't make it up. Okay. I could probably jump to there. It starts with a K, but I can't remember. Norway is definitely my favorite for travel. Yeah. That... Norway sounds like a lot of fun too. Is that where... Is that Rotterdam? In Amsterdam? Or am I thinking of the wrong country? It's not really something that we grew up learning here in the States. You kind of understand that Europe is over there, but you don't really understand the different parts of Europe. Like, I didn't know how the United Kingdom worked until, I guess, like 7 years ago now. But I didn't learn it in high school. They didn't teach us that. The Netherlands. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. The Netherlands. Yeah, there's a lot of culture out there that we do not have here in the States that I would like to experience at some point in my life. It's going a little too far up the mountain. Go over here. We are almost done with the green stuff. We have to move along to the other part of our... Oh, wait. Yeah, never mind. We still have a bit to do. That's okay. It's only been an hour. Crazy. Used to live in Amsterdam. Wow. How was that? I've heard the, I think there's like a Christmas market that happens there, or that might be a German thing that I was thinking of. I saw someone talking about it online, but it looked incredibly cool. It was like a Christmassy food market. There's just a lot to do, and not a whole lot of time to experience it all. Just gotta hope I get around to some of it. Now, this hole here is where I think we're going to put some of the temple, but I was halfway through outlining my idea for the temple and then decided that it was going to take too long, and that's when I made the decision to split it into 2 videos. Which I do think it's going to make the next one a bit shorter, but that's okay. It should also mean that it will come out sooner, but no promises. Just fingers crossing. I only lived there as a kid, and the big Christmas market was in the red light district, so you never got to see it. That sucks. I mean, good on your parents for not taking you there, but that does suck. Also, I did not know that it was in the red light district. All of my experience from like other countries has been either through like TikTok or some shows. Like, I know Ted Lasso was really fun to see more into like British culture, and then they also went to Amsterdam, and you know, seeing a bit more of the city because they filmed on location, of course, was just really cool in that medium, I guess. What I need to do is watch like travel documentaries. That'd be cool. I really like watching vlogs. I used to when that was like one of the first things I discovered that I liked on YouTube. And then I just kind of stopped watching them. I think I used to watch... Oh, what's his name? I don't remember his name. He did like a daily vlog, and he was a British guy. But I mean, it was so long ago that I don't really remember much about like what happened. What is his name? I don't remember. But I really like it whenever the hermits post vlogs. Those are really fun to watch. Because they'll do like TwitchCon VODs, and you get to see how like fun it is in those areas. And it's part of the reason why I want to go and experience. I don't really care about Vegas. It's mostly the Europe one that I'd want to go to. I've had a couple of family members that have gone to Vegas. But I mean, I don't really care for it. It's not my speed. Plus, it's like American desert, and I live in American plains, and I don't care for gambling, so there's really nothing for me. Gotta find a stopping point. We're gonna just cut it there and work our way around, maybe. It's not bad, though. It's going a little bit faster than I thought it was. I thought maybe we'd be like getting half of this done today, and I'd have to do the rest of it this weekend, but we'll be able to get most of it done, optimistically. I don't know. I don't know why I do this to myself. This is such a big project. All be worth it, hopefully. Be able to get all the black stone we want pretty easily. Breaking our AFK rule, though. Not that it was really that big of a rule to begin with. I just don't like to do it frequently. But in the name of Blackstone, I'd be okay with it. I think the longest part will be spreading bushes and leaf litter and stuff. Yeah, leaf litter, I have yet to decide if I actually want to use leaf litter. There's some efficiency that I have to have when decorating, and leaf litter might be a little too inefficient for me. But definitely big leaves as like big bushes on the ground and stuff. We'll need to replace some of the main reason that this is moss is because we're mostly in a Badlands biome, and there's a little bit of jungle up top, like towards the top of the volcano. So up there where I don't have any grass, the biome grass would have been the perfect color. But since down here on the lower sections, it's a Badlands, I can't use grass and I have to use moss, which is okay because moss is so easy to get. But that means that when we go through in texture, I can also add in grass here and there for like a darker contrast to the bright moss, and that'll be good. But we are basically putting most of this down and then going to be taking out some of it. You should come to South Africa. It's amazing, and your USD will go very far here. Yeah, I had a coworker at my last job right before I left. She came from South Africa, and it was very interesting learning about some of that culture there through her perspective, and that was cool. I think I would like South Africa as well. I hadn't even really like considered Africa very much. I basically just had my eyes set on either Australia or New Zealand, but now I've decided that it's New Zealand that I want to go to, or somewhere in Europe like Scotland. I think Scotland would be so cool. Mostly for Edinburgh. I think that's like the only reason I'd want to go over there. I don't really care about going to British land. I don't really care about going to Great Britain. And, you know, there's other stuff in Europe that I'd be okay with, like France or Norway, the Netherlands, stuff like that. Yeah, getting used to her accent was really hard at first. Because she would say, like, they speak English, but with a very heavy accent. And what's the language? What's the language? I forget. Afrikaans? That's what they speak down there, and it was interesting hearing her speak Afrikaans. It was cool though. It was a fun little like micro experience, being able to hear a little bit about that part of the world. Really, it depends which one you're referring to. There are many, and some of them are really funny sounding. South African accent, yeah, okay. Yeah, I imagine some of them are pretty funny sounding. There's a movie that I watched that was like my first introduction into South Africa. It's not District 9. That also is set in South Africa, but there is a movie about a robot. It's like a police robot or something that this group of people kind of commandeer and fix in a way, so where it like develops feelings and whatnot. I don't know what it's called though. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. That was like my first introduction into South African culture, and I thought it was cool. And then being a fan of Rendog, hearing a bit about, you know, his growing up in South Africa and going back to see his family also kind of added to my understanding. And then I got to meet someone from South Africa who came all the way from South Africa to live in Kansas with her family. Like, her family moved to be with more of her family, which, you know, good for you. But Kansas, that kind of is unfortunate for you that you have to be stuck here now. I don't know the one it is. I had a couple of South African teachers growing up and it sounded cool. How big is South Africa? Is it like a big country? I imagine a lot of like differences in accents is probably because of geographical spread on the country, unless you guys just all have different accents depending on like what city you're from. Like here, it's the accents are spread basically per region. So like we have Midwest, which we don't really have an accent here. A lot of people like to pretend that we do, but it's mostly the South that has the Southern twang. And then here, I feel like we speak with a more modernized, like transatlantic accent, I suppose. And then you have East Coasters, but East Coasters are also subdivided. So I guess we do have a lot of probably like minor accents that you don't really think of. Because there's a lot on the East Coast. I grew up on the East Coast, so there's a bit more of an understanding there. But there's like Boston, there's Pittsburgh, which is where I'm from. All my family back home, they speak with a weird Pittsburgh accent sometimes. Like my great-grandma, she had like the worst Pittsburgh accent ever. And it was really hard to understand her sometimes growing up. But I guess the rest of my family speaks pretty normally. Then you go to Boston and they're speaking a different language. No clue what's going on over there. You're a whole movie, but I know what it is. Yeah. It's big, about 24-hour drive from Cape Town to the border on the northeast side. Damn, I didn't know it was that big. That's crazy. I don't know why. I thought it was like maybe the size of Texas, but that seems to be about double Texas. I think Texas is a 12 or 14-hour drive across. That's nutty. I didn't know that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind just going around different places. Honestly, if it were like a throw a dart at the map and you land on a country and go there, I'd really be okay with anything. Hello. I just wish there was more to do where I am. Didn't have to go so far to experience things. 12 different languages. Wow. Why do you Americans have such big states, which you need all that space for? Hey, don't bring it up with modern Americans. That is all a bunch of old white people that made those decisions like 150 years ago. The states have been the same size for a very long time, and there's no reason that we should have as many or as big a states as we do. And some of the states, like the population density is wild. So like they'll have a gigantic state like Wyoming or something like that, and all the population is centered around like 2 or 3 cities, and the rest of it is just farmland. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and have you seen Canada's population distribution? And they only have like 11 provinces, and I think they're just about as big as we are. But their population density, nobody lives in the north, but it's still all Canada technically. And a lot of it's farmland, and it's just, it's basically the same problem that we have here. Except they're nicer about it. Texas is huge to me. Yeah, I've only been to Texas once, actually this summer. I don't want to go back. We went to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is where like the big airport in Texas is. If you're doing any kind of international flights, so like technically I had been there a couple times, but only at the airport. I wasn't actually in Dallas doing things. I was just catching a flight. But the airport makes it a big hub, like a central travel hub. And the highways in that area are like 5 or 6 lanes across, and nobody in Texas knows how to drive. There were so many times that we were driving down there that we almost got into an accident. And it was like as soon as we were an hour outside of Texas, the quality of drivers just went completely downhill. And it was very experience that didn't make me want to do it again. I wouldn't say it was like quite negative, because there were some fun things that we did, but the driving experience was something I'd like to never do again. But I saw a diagram, I think on TikTok or something, talking about, or maybe it was Reddit, talking about the radius around Texas that is the same distance as driving from one side of Texas to the other. So like if you drive from the eastern to the western points of Texas, it takes like 12 or 14 hours, something like that. And then the map was the radius of where else in the country that you could go that was also a 12-hour drive. And it was just crazy to see. Like you could go all the way up to Nebraska, like halfway through Nebraska, and it would be the same distance from driving one side of Texas to the other. Nutty. And my mom was born in Texas. How many times could Texas fit around the globe? I don't know. Probably not a lot. That is an interesting statistic, though. I feel like that'd be a fun game show question. Like if Texas had their own game show, that would definitely be on there. They would be pretentious enough to have their own game show, too. Texas people are very full of themselves and their Texas pride. I think it's about time to start on the dark patches. Could do this little section down here, I suppose. But, care. There's also not trees over here. So if we just cover the tree areas, maybe we'll be fine. Yeah. I need to figure out how to get Minecraft songs in this playlist. I have yet to listen to the new one, the new Chaos Cube song. Heard it's a bop. They really haven't missed with music in the previous, or the latest releases. I think it all started with, what was that, Creator? That was a really good music disc. And then, is that Ballroom one? They've just been good. But the problem is I use Epidemic for music, and there's no way to upload like my own custom stuff onto the playlist. My dog is flipped over on her belly, or on her back, and her belly's just up, but I only see like her feet, and so they're just in the air like that, out of the corner of my eye. What a dork. What type of music do I listen to? A lot. I listen to a lot of types of music. So like I usually only listen to music when I'm working out. I rarely listen to music whenever I'm working, like doing, working on a video. I usually just sit in silence the whole time. So it's not common that I do listen to music. It's about an hour and a half a day. And in that hour and a half, it could be the most diverse music you've ever heard of. Like I have a fixed playlist that I call Amalgam. And it's basically just songs that I enjoy that I can listen to at the gym. And I think now it's about 16 hours, but it's everything from like hardstyle to like Beyonce pop. Like the last song that I was listening to at the gym today was Only Girl in the World by Rihanna. And so there's a huge spread in the music that I listen to. Like in the same playlist I have Rihanna, I have Rammstein and Tool and other metal bands and dad rock and old 80s pop like Fleetwood Mac, and it's all over the place. Although I guess Fleetwood Mac are they classified as pop? System of a Down. I don't like listening to System of a Down though. I listened to a lot of them growing up. My dad was a big rock guy, and I think I just listened to too many of them. They are good. They are good, and maybe I should give them another shot. It's been a while. But like I recently got back into Tool. I had a couple songs of theirs, and I had listened to a handful of the albums, like in, I guess, sophomore year. And so I kind of had like a Tool phase, and so a couple of the songs are stuck like on the playlist from that phase, but I recently got back into listening to them. A lot of it's just kind of like developed over time. Like Fleetwood Mac was largely influenced by Guardians of the Galaxy and those movies, because they're featured not prominently in the soundtrack, but they do come up a handful of times. And watching those movies kind of got me into Fleetwood Mac. And there are other, I guess, like the Superman movie. What song from Superman am I thinking of? It's not This Is the Day, is it? That might have been from the Superman movie. There's one like really good feel-good song like from the 80s that they used. I'm pretty sure it was Superman that, you know, got me into adding that genre into my playlist. And it's a whole bunch of stuff that came from a whole bunch of different places. And, you know, the one thing I say probably appears the least on my playlist is like rap. Unless it's really good, like old Biggie, or I used to listen to Eminem. Like I have to listen to it for the story. I can't do just the random mumble rap. So if it's a good rap song, like there's a couple of non-mainstream artists. Like one of them, his name is Anonymous, I think. He's a really good lyricist, but he doesn't. There's like one album that I really like of his, and the rest of it's just kind of okay. But yeah, there's a lot of variety. Trust me, Utarm is peak. What is that? Yeah, I'm sorry about System of a Down. I need to give him a shot. I will. Utarm. I switched over to YouTube music as well, so that's been interesting to get used to. Am I looking at the right thing? They have, on the YouTube Studio at least, they only have 470 subscribers. Is it a very indie band? There's another indie band, I don't remember what they're called, that I follow because of a song on TikTok. And I think it's called The River. They're really good. I'm hopeful for their future. I think they make some really good, like, it's kind of grunge rock. Bless you. But it's really good. And then I also have like blues, like old blues, and I don't like country. That actually, country appears less than rap in my playlist. I just don't like the way that new country sounds. There might be technically a couple of old country songs, but those are the two least common in my playlist. Half System of a Down and Queens of the Stone Age. Queens of the Stone Age. Yes. Yeah, there's so many good bands out there. I feel like it's hard to restrict yourself to a favorite. Small project by Cinder Foss. I don't know how to say that last name. Okay. Oh, hello, beach. Yeah, I would say a fair bit of my diverse taste comes from the fact that I listen to songs from like movies that I enjoy. So if there's a song in a movie that I like, I will start listening to that. And another thing, one thing I like about Edgar Wright, going back to talking about him and his movies, he described like listening, or maybe it was it Edgar Wright or was it James Gunn? It might have been James Gunn that I'm thinking of. But he's also very, very good with blending the music into the scenes and making the music a character in the movies, especially in the Guardians of the Galaxy series. Like, that's such a prominent character that it would feel really strange if it had a subpar soundtrack. Like, it wouldn't be the same movie if it didn't have the music that James Gunn picked. But I don't know where I was going with that. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, he was describing, I think, in an interview, how he would like hear a song and then the scene would like play out in his head of like what would happen or what he would picture to happen while that song is playing. And that has happened to me so many times listening to sounds on Epidemic and trying to find like music for videos. I will just be browsing random music and like have an idea pop into my head that the music would be perfect to. And I don't do it too much now, but like in my survival series, I would do just time lapses with music and like no talking. And I would use the songs and let the songs dictate the flow of the time lapse and the cuts and all that, and the quickness of the shots. And it was a very influential choice of music, and that was heavily influenced by James Gunn and watching movies and enjoying the music that I was hearing. Yeah, there's a lot to be learned from movies, I think. I think I will go to about this ridge here and do like this section, and then we can go and start doing the darker bits. I think that'll be good. Yeah, I did go through, like I get some song recommendations on TikTok sometimes, and I'll go and like listen to an album that whoever it was suggested, or, you know, a certain style of song. And recently that example would be, I saw someone talking about like slowed down music like they use in edits for TikTok, and like I'm on a bit of the gym talk as well, so there's some like slowed down hard beat songs, I suppose, that are basically like modifications of existing songs. And so there was a guy that gave a bunch of recommendations of those types of songs, and I went and added them all to my playlist and listened to them, and then filtered them out from my playlist and kept the few that I did like. And so now I have a bit more in the amalgam. I do have, I don't know if it's still active since I don't have a Spotify. There is a chill playlist that I created that I was really into for a while, that I linked somewhere. I think my Spotify is on my link tree. So if you're on Twitch, if you do the ! link tree, or socials, it might be socials, it'll give you the link to my link tree, and my Spotify's there, and that has a playlist that I created that I listen to very commonly. Like the past 3 years, I kind of stopped listening to it at the beginning of this year, mostly just because I like grew tired of it. But that's a good taste into like the chiller side of the music that I listen to. There's a lot of Teskey Brothers, Hozier, not a lot of Noah Khan. I don't really like him as much. I was born in like the north, and I think he's a little cringe talking about the stuff that he talks about, but he's more folk than Hozier, I think. Hozier is like focused on legends more so than, you know, contemporary understandings of culture and life. So I think that's probably why I find him more interesting. But those two get compared a lot. But if you haven't listened to him, I would highly recommend Hozier. He's one of my wife and I's favorite artists. He's one of the few people that I would go and see in concert because he's just got such a beautiful voice. But I'm not a big concert person. I heard Pillagers. Is that right? Definitely thought I heard some Pillagers there. Do I do YouTube full-time? Technically, yes, but it's not my only job. I also have a job in the food industry that takes up half of my time. So the other half and above is YouTube, basically, when I'm actually working on videos. Since I was creatively burned out for a little while, I just kind of did nothing and was a bit of a potato in my off time. But sometimes you need that, especially during the summer. It got really hot here, and it's still really hot, and it kind of affects me. I really like the cold weather. But yeah, mostly full-time, with other obligations, I should say. Which I've learned is kind of it's a bit of a catch-22. Like, it's nice to have more time to work on videos and stuff, but whenever I spend all of my time being creative, it leads me to not wanting to work on stuff. So I need to work on finding a balance, which I'm getting better at. I think I am. We'll see. I think the next, like, mental break that I will take, I'm going to try and aim for it being around January, because that's a slow point for YouTube anyway. And it'll be nice to, like, finish the holidays strong and then have a little bit of a break afterward. We shall see, though. Food industry, yeah. I work in food, basically. Kind of like one of the most consistent things that you can do here. And it also is flexible if I need time for whatever. And it's brainless. I don't have to think too much, which is good. I spend a lot of my time thinking anyway. Why do I want to take this? Is that good enough? I want to come through and like redo all of this terrain. This is lazy terrain here. But that is probably next episode. So we might be good to leave it there and start working on the dark stuff, which is nice. We're like an hour and a half in, a little over. Made decent progress. I still have a time lapse running from earlier today too. So this time lapse is going on 5 hours now. What is with all these creepers in my stuff? Stop it. Oh, there's a trident guy too. Oh. Please don't blow up my shulkers. No, it can't. Oh, wow, one hut. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Usually those guys take a couple. Okay. Nobody else? Skeleton? You're gonna leave me alone? I need to dump, consolidate, and then figure out what to do. So we don't need sand, I think, for the time being. We can dump the empty. Empty. Mm-hmm. And go put these over here. Okay, stop it. I think I put my bed away. I should have just kept it out over here. How are you still tracking me? Okay. Dump the trash as well. Those ones. Okay. It can go up here. So I brought like some stuff for texturing the lower rocks, like the stairs and slabs here. Why do I have one moss in that? Okay. Whatever. Keep the coarse dirt just in case. We could put that in there. Mossy stuff. We can probably dump this. I don't know why I have so many. Am I out? Like, do I need more? That's not updated. Refresh, come on. Okay, it's not going to refresh because we're all the way over here. Come on. There you go. Coarse dirt. Yeah, we only need a stack, so I got way too much coarse dirt. I think the thought was that I wanted some for texturing the ground later. So that's okay. Put that over there. There's the wool. We can do our remaining green stuff, I suppose. Just to have. Terracotta, that's trash. Stone, I don't... Actually, I do think we need some... Not a lot of stone, actually, going up the top. That's fine. Leave that. Dump the empties. 2, 3. And... Okay, green stuff. This is like the... In case we find a patch that we need to work on up there. Now we can get the gradient stuff. So this is the auxiliary texturing. That's like the stuff that we used occasionally to blend different areas that needed, you know, blocks that weren't so harsh. Some of the darker ones, and then the most deep slate. Why did I collect so much stone? I think I went a little overkill there. Well, I guess there's big sections there. Went to eat dinner. What did I miss? Ooh, we talked about... When did you leave? How long has it been? We talked about movies and music and traveling, but you could have been here for that. Recently, the last thing was music. We talk about our different tastes in music. I should sleep first. Turn it around. This out. Bed. Not too much. Just talking about very diverse music interests. Give that a chance to reset. It's important to stay hydrated, people. Actually, let's leave that there. Okay. Perfect. Now I can move. Oh, lag. Lag. Top of the volcano. Okay, we're there. Now, what side do I want to start on? The back is easy. There's a lot of terrain there. Maybe we focus on the front and like this side and then work counterclockwise. I was already flying over here to begin with. I think yeah, okay, up here. So Blackstone was the darker or darkest color that we went with. And then to blend in some areas, we went with the polished, cracked Blackstone bricks. I don't know. Oh, they're right here. Cracked, polished Blackstone bricks. But mostly it goes from Blackstone to mud to cobbled deep slate. Very simple gradient, but it gets the main idea across. Finish the grass. Yeah, for the most part. We finished the areas that I care about for the moment. So like this back section, we kind of have some more to do, but all this we're going to leave for later today or next episode when it's actually put together. It was kind of just blanket terrain that I stopped caring about. I was just done and I wanted to get working on the video so that I could get it out to you guys. Yeah, not too bad. Hello, sir. You know what I could go for? I could go for some pizza. I'm getting a little hungry. Some good old Papa John's. I don't know. I really like lots of different pizza places. I don't know which one would be my favorite though. Because they all have like different moods. At least here in the US. I don't know if they're universal, of course. But I grew up eating Papa John's because my dad worked at Papa John's when I was younger. And so there's like a bit of nostalgia, but also I like the flavor. And then my wife's family introduced me to Domino's and eating that frequently. And, well, not frequently, but like that's their go-to pizza if there is pizza. And I like Domino's. I would say I will actively avoid Pizza Hut because they are a bit too greasy for me. And I have some reflux already. So eating pizza, not the best idea for me, but eating really greasy pizza makes me regret every decision I made that day. But I'd say I'm in the mood for some Papa John's right now. Papa John's though in our town is really slow. They suck. I hate to say that, but they're really slow. I think they're understaffed, I think is the problem. So it's not really their fault. But it is always a slow time. It's been a while though since I've had some pizza like that. Usually we go to, my wife and I have this spot that we really like. It's like a... Am I really out of moss? Did I not bring any? Okay. It's like, I wouldn't say it's gourmet pizza, but they have, it's wood fire pizza, which is the best kind of pizza. And they do like unique combinations of flavors and toppings and all that. Oh, what year is it? I've been married for 2 years, but I've been with my wife for 7. We are high school sweethearts, and we've been together for a long time. I guess, you know, not so long, but since like junior year of high school. Live in a small village with no delivery service or takeaway places, and so I go to bed hungry a lot out of laziness for cooking. I understand that. Cooking's a lot sometimes. cooking is a lot. You have to really, I feel like it's easier if you enjoy it as like a hobby or an experience, or like it's easy to cook for other people because it's, you know, food is a love language. But if you're just cooking for yourself, it's even harder to find the motivation for it. So I totally understand. I typically don't have too much of a problem with that though, because I'll do like meal prep stuff for eating. I'll do meal prep for eating, just because I'm trying to be better about my health and whatnot, and I have the ability to spend a bit of time meal prepping. Sorry, my wife just texted me. No, she's on break. She's a kooky cookie. All I had today was store-bought frozen pizza, pot noodles, and microwave popcorn, health maxing. You should probably take a multivitamin. That doesn't sound too good for the longevity of your life. Today I had, I've just this week gotten into doing overnight oats. Big fan of those. So I had a pre-made, well, like I made it myself yesterday after we got groceries. Blueberry chai, not chai, blueberry, what is it? What are they called? Chia seed. Blueberry chia seed overnight oats that I made yesterday. And that was so tasty. I'm a big fan of oats. Like I used to just eat oatmeal, just plain. And I just kind of stopped after a while. But having oatmeal that actually tastes good and has flavor to it is life-changing. I cannot believe it. I am such a big fan already, and I've only had it like 2 days total now. Like I did it one day to just try it out, and I was like, oh, this is good. So I got more stuff for it, and then now I have 3 more sitting in my fridge, and I will be making more as soon as I run out, and looking forward to each bite. We talk about eating, I'm getting hungry. I still have like 2 hours before I can eat, depending on how long we do this stream. Yeah, I had overnight oats, and then I had some pre-workout cereal for some good carbs before the gym, some energy. And then when I got home, I had a high-protein bagel, and then a protein shake about 2 hours later, and that's it. I've also had some bites of some meal prep my wife is doing for herself. Hey, thank you for being here. Yeah, that's, and then for dinner tonight, I will have some chicken and some sweet potatoes. And I would much rather be eating microwave pizza, if I'm being honest. Or, you know, store-bought, whatever. Favorite Minecraft YouTuber, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry for the lack of videos, but we are getting back into it. Happy to have you here. I'm gonna try to be more consistent and hopefully more frequent with uploads in the future. It's good though. I like food. I like meal prepping because it kind of takes away some of the guesswork. Because a lot of the time I'll be like focused on working or, you know, designing or editing or something, and I kind of just completely lose track of time. So just having something that I can pull out and eat is just incredible. Just had a milkshake and 3 energy drinks, bulking for the summer. There you go. I've been on a bulk way too long. So I've been like lifting and bodybuilding since high school, basically. I played football, and that was kind of the catalyst for it. But my first year of college, I did an actual cut, like for the first time, took it seriously, got down to like rep levels of body fat, and immediately rebounded afterward and just stopped caring because I was like, that just sucked. That experience was awful. So I kind of fell out of love with the gym for a while, and then recently I've been getting back into it, but from the angle of wanting to be healthy and not necessarily caring about like the looks of it all, you know? You know what your next vid will be about? We are working on it currently. We are building a volcano to cover up a gold farm. And then the video after that, we are going to be making a temple where, you know, they go through the volcano and the where the piglins are coming out is going to be like the sacrifice area. We're going to build a temple and a bartering farm based off of that, and it'll be fun. Next couple episodes are going to be surrounded in this area, and then after that we are going to go back to the main area and do a pretty fun project, I think. Don't ever hit legs at the gym, as I ski and mountain bike basically all year round. I hit legs today, and I was probably the sweatiest I've been in a while. Like I did a couple of exercises, like I was only halfway through my workout and I had sweat dripping down from my hair onto my glasses for the first time in a very long time. And granted, it's a hot day, so the gym isn't very cool, but it was a killer leg workout. I love hitting legs too. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to do legs though. I want to get back into biking. Not that I was ever into like actual biking, but you know, when I was a kid, I had a bike and I would like to get back to having a bike to ride around. I've done a couple of like biking excursions on trips though when I was younger. Those are fun. Will you stream the temple too? Yeah, so we are going to on Monday. I already have the I figured out the thumbnail earlier today. We're gonna have another stream that's like a creative design stream, and then time depending, I don't really know what the next couple weeks are gonna look like. For streams at the very least. So next week we're definitely gonna have a Monday stream, but I don't think I have any time any other day of the week. On Monday, we'll be working on the design of the temple while I finish up the build in this world and start on the editing process. And then hopefully we get editing done in the next week or so, a week and a half, get the video published, and then at that point we'll see what we want to work on. But I wouldn't mind streaming more of the creative process, and then when we get around to building or resource collecting, we can have more streams. That's something that I just want to do more of, you know, as I can. So it's really, there's no schedule yet, but hopefully at least once or twice a week, usually on either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe Sunday. We'll see. That's inefficient. Let me out, please. Oh, can't believe I made that. Okay, we're gonna put a block here, and then out. Save us a couple blackstone. It's a precious material. What's your favorite food? Probably pizza. Just because, so like on the basis that if this was like the food that I eat frequently, or it was the last food that I had to eat ever and still enjoy for a long time, it would be pizza, because you can put like so many different toppings and have so many different flavor combinations on it. It's so good. Yeah, not lobster. I've never had lobster before. I've had crab, and I've had alligator and frog, but I've never had lobster, to my knowledge. I might have had a bite at some point, but I don't consciously remember that. It's more inefficiency. Give me my blocks back. Stop being weird. Well, no, we'll just suck it up. We'll put one there. Okay. Smoked brisket is really good too, but I can't eat too much brisket. Like I can only eat... ooh. Hey, get out of here. Stuck in a hole here. I can only eat like a normal portion of brisket before it gets a bit too much for me. That's just, you know, playing into my reflux. I just can't consume too much of it. What's been my biggest project ever? Size-wise, we might be looking at it. This is a very large project. You can see the outline of the island here, and then we still have all of the rear to do, and the temple, and the inside, all the redstone, and the nether side of things. So this by itself might be the biggest project that I've worked on so far, like ever. In terms of scale though, there is a project coming out that Lance is working on. I helped him with the build, which I'd like to go back and change because I don't think it's a very good build, but the scale of that is absolutely huge, but it's all creative, so it's bit different. Oh, yeah, you definitely need to go to bed, Sharky. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. You have a good night. The hardest one... Ooh. Oh, what the hell happened? What? Okay. I didn't even have that enabled. That happened yesterday, or Monday, too. What do we call this? Volcano 1? No, that was already one of them. Build 1, I guess? Will you ever decorate the inside of the volcano? Yes, we will when we do the temple. We'll do like a an inner chamber with lava and geyser steams and chains holding up the portal and a bunch of different stuff. It's not even on a server. I don't know why it kicks me like that. So strange. Bruh. Am I going to be soft locked here? Hold on. You're more. We're going to just turn that off. Okay. Strange. So weird. Hardest project, though? I don't know. I think I know what the hardest one will be in this world. I want to do a huge chunk of terraforming on our where our main base is, and I think that's going to be incredibly challenging. I think this whole world in general, if we get to finish it, will be the most challenging thing that I've worked on. But we shall see. Individually, I don't think there's really been a very hard experience yet. Please don't blow up. What country are you from? And try to guess my country. We've talked about a lot of countries here. Slovenia. That's a good guess. Unless you're using a translator, they speak English well. Which I don't know. They'd have to understand English well as well, because I don't think there's a Google Translate for live streams. Same continent. I don't know where Slovenia is. Is that Europe? What am I doing? Where am I going? Pay attention. Dump that. Oh, that's what I was doing. I feel like I am so bad with countries if I'm not looking at a map. Europe, Serbia, okay. Europe. My dad's side is from Slovakia. What am I looking for? Oh, I just picked block. I'm having such a brain fart right now. I don't know why. I think that safe AFK thing just threw me off. Yeah, hopefully this goes by decently quickly, and that way I can start the editing process for the video, which will be fun. There's a lot to do, and still a lot to record. So maybe a week and a half, maybe 2. No more than 2 though. I don't think it'll be more than 2. I think I am dedicating myself to this. Not in the Balkan. Go up in like Germany and Sweden. Are you French? What else is over there? Guess we can keep the stone. Norway. We were also talking about Norway. But that's a little north of Germany, isn't it? Like a ways north? Or are they next to each other? Oh, I definitely need to get Beatrice for this, don't I? Go to Scandinavia. I have to look at a map. They don't teach us European countries here. Denmark. Ooh, that's a good guess. Is that in Scandinavia, though? Oh, no. No, that's... I'm not even going to say what the guess that came into my head. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to get Beatrice over here. Oh, I didn't start the recording. Okay, that's fine. The happy guess? Yeah. I need to get some... We're in the new update, so we can get some forever young baby happy guests up in here. They are so freaking cute. Oh, did we guess it? Oh, it was Denmark. So they guessed it. Oh, Finland. Yay, okay. I definitely forgot about Finland. You guys have a fun language. Yeah, I could definitely be more versed in European countries. We had a big travel talk earlier. Pretty good at English for your age. No, yes, baby gas sanctuary. Yeah, that could be fun. I heard Jem talking about an idea for gas as like little ghosts floating around a big build. I don't know how we'd incorporate that, but I think it'd be fun to have like a little lore reason for them. But I would be okay with like a sanctuary as well, because I mean, I've only accidentally... I guess it wasn't my fault that the gas died, but it kind of was my fault. I've accidentally killed one gas, so maybe as like reprimand or helping right my wrongs, we create a happy gas sanctuary of some kind. Do you want to hear something Finnish? We can't hear Finnish if you're in chat, though. You can type it out. You speak pretty good English for being Finnish. That's why I thought you were Norwegian. Oh, goodness. Okay. Thank God for feather falling. Yeah, I think Beatrice is going to be necessary for these long vertical sections. Yeah, baby gas sanctuary would be fun. I think it would be cool to do like a Luigi's Mansion for Halloween, like a nice creative build. That could be fun. And then you play into like the baby gas or little ghosts. It'd be fun if you could make a mini game out of it, though. Like you run around with leads trying to capture baby gas, and then there's some other mechanic or something. I don't know. I haven't played Luigi's Mansion, actually. But I know of it, and I know you have to do something with gas. Something along those lines. Not gas, but ghosts. Or booze. Are they called booze in Mario? I think they're called booze. I had a hankering to go back and play some Mario Kart, but I don't have any device to play that on. And I want to play like old Mario Kart, like on the DS. That was peak Mario Kart. Tell me something so I can type it as Finnish. Ooh. You could just say, my favorite food is pizza. Since you were talking about that earlier, too. Yeah, okay, we have about halfway through. We've got, this is kind of a big edge of the volcano. So if we get this quarter done, then the lower sections, we might be able to finish this today. Or at least the semi-normal vertical sections. I don't think we'll be able to do much without Beatrice, but I don't know if I want to spend the time getting her over here during the stream. We could just work on more productive things. Back from lurking, looking like it's coming together. Yeah, we are getting there, slowly but surely. Still got quite a bit to do, though. Still optimistic. We'll get most of this done today. And then whatever we don't get done today, I'll get done over the weekend, hopefully. And we'll do trees and undergrowth and all the fun bits. And then editing. How was your dinner, Fizzly? Good lobster? was nice though. Not too bad. Nice and chill, buildy stream. Just turn our brains off and chat some. I think the music is going to end soon too. I think it's about 2 hours. Pretty good. We had some nice hard shells that were packed with lobster. Definitely exploded a couple claws though. Fun. Yo, what Minecraft YouTuber inspires me the most? Inspiration-wise, I'd say... I'm going to do the cop-out answer and say B-dubs is probably the most inspiring, like, build-wise. He also has a very unique way of presenting his content that I think is... It's inspiring, but it's also not something that can be replicated because it's so uniquely him. But when it comes to content creation, I think Gem and Green, just as creators, are very inspiring. And they're also obviously incredible builders. But anytime I see a B-dubs thumbnail, it's immediately... oh my god, that looks so good, and I'm inspired. And then anytime I watch a Gem and Green video, I'm inspired to create fun content. And yeah, a couple different people, but mostly Hermit, because that's all the Minecraft YouTube that I watch. I just can't stand watching other types of content. Like, it's a little too repetitive and too over the top sometimes. That's why I like doing a chill vibe in my videos, usually. Most of the time. How do you have the motivation to do this? That's a good question. Sometimes you just kind of do it, you know? But whenever I'm feeling inspired, I really like to have... how do I say this? I have a bit of an imagination, and when I discovered Minecraft and like the ability to produce what my imagination sees, because I'm not a very good drawer. I haven't... Is it drawer? Yeah, it's drawer. I'm not a very good artist, and I haven't put effort into practicing, but Minecraft was kind of that medium for imagination that I clicked with and really enjoyed when I first discovered it. And I learned that there's a high ceiling to the skill in this game, and that kind of that intrigued my competitive nature. And so I think without YouTube, I wouldn't really care as much about creating stuff and be motivated to work on projects like this. But with the medium of producing content, it's really easy to help motivate me through actually getting my imagination out there, and like the ideas that I have. It is a really easy way for me to want to continue working on stuff like this. And I think without YouTube, I wouldn't really care that much, if I'm being honest. But it's fun. I think YouTube's a fun challenge, and it's been a really good time so far. I look forward to doing it for hopefully a long time. Corrales' base this season isn't amazing. I agree. The only thing, and this is just me being a hater, I wish more of it was like original, and that he didn't pull so much from that one game. I feel like it's just being a hater. I feel like it's the easy way out, and I wish he would do more that wasn't like a direct inspiration from there. But he is doing a very good job of it, and it's not all based on the video game. He's got a lot of the like the in-between areas or whatever that are completely him, and it doesn't stop him from being an incredible builder, being able to translate the two different things. And I think when it's done, it'll be incredible and breathtaking. It's already getting there. I've played Minecraft for... I don't know. I started... My earliest memories of Minecraft are like from the 5th or 6th grade. I played it a couple times with a buddy who had it on his laptop. And then I didn't really play much other than like the PS3 version here or there. And I was kind of on and off until probably junior year of high school, right around when COVID struck. I kind of got back into it, got really into the YouTuber side of it, and that just kind of snowplowed. And eventually I got the idea that I'd want to start a channel around freshman year. It was after my freshman year of college. I got the idea that I wanted to start a YouTube channel that summer, and here I am. Taking my good old time with it. So, I mean, it was on and off for a while, but in total, probably about 6 years. And I definitely wasn't... like, all the builder progress that I've made have been steps along the channel. So, like, every instance of becoming a better builder has been because of YouTube, I think. You want to hear something in Finnish? If you do, tell me something that I can translate in chat. Yeah, say, my favorite food is pizza in Finnish, please. I think this season of Permacraft will be a very good one once it's all said and done. A lot of fun things happening. And I think I'm not like a big decked out fan, but I like the idea of everything happening, and I think it's very interesting how it's happening, like how Tango is manipulating the game, and I think it'll be incredible to see him pull it off. I think it'll be a pretty legendary season when all is said and done. I'm going to try and pronounce this, and I'm sorry if I butcher it. So, my favorite food is pizza, is Minun Lepi Ruokani on pizza. I haven't heard a Finnish person talk in a while, so I probably butchered those pronunciations. And I think Finnish is very different. Finnish is very different than any of the Latin languages we have over here. Like, I understand a little bit of Spanish, but not a lot. Pulse's base is my favorite so far, and I haven't really seen much of it. Oh, I'm surprised that was very good. Yeah, I'm not a big Pulse fan, but she's always a really, really inspiring builder. I think her take on bases is usually really unique. And it's good to see, like, in comparison to all the other hermits. Oh, okay, Estonian. Yeah, we don't have many languages here. Mostly Spanish and English. And then there's a bit of an Indian population here in Kansas. But I feel like it's not something you hear very often. That was the wrong block. Mud. Oh, I'm gonna have missed so many blocks going up this way. Beatrice is going to have her work cut out for her. Oh, wow. We're almost at the top. Yeah, there's more stuff that I want to do, like, detail-wise up here. I'm just not entirely sure what it should look like. I wanted to go for a dormant volcano. So nothing, like, too over the top. Nothing exploding. Because I wanted this to be more than just, like, a moment in time. So I think we might do, like, some clouds. Some custom clouds up here. Other than that, though, not really sure what to put up at top. I'm not familiar with the tops of volcanoes. Especially ones that aren't exploding. It's been fun to work on, though. I didn't really follow any, like, inspiration. Like, I have one picture saved that was more of, like, a beach inspiration that I wanted to look like. And that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, you need to go to bed. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I know it's a very inconvenient time for a lot of European people, and it's even getting late for me, but it's kind of the only time that I have right now. Yeah, you need to get to bed then. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Oh, I think the music stopped. Let's... No, we're not going to hear the same song again. We'll do that. And it's on shuffle. There we go. See ya. Thank you for being here. I'll go back and do one of these smaller sections. Oh, but there's so many mobs. Maybe I should go sleep. Do that. I don't like sleeping very often. I feel like it's a waste of time. And I sort of like the challenge of having to fight through mobs every night, but when I'm building and I want to get this done, I don't want to spend the extra time fighting mobs, so we'll just be normal, I suppose. So much. Have a great day or night. I don't know. I'll watch your next stream. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you again. And I will have a good rest of my night. You get to bed. I'm excited to start working on the trees, but I'm a little nervous too. I think what I want to do is go through and add some like really tall trees that are kind of poking through the canopy. Like if we get over here. So like they all kind of, they're very smooth at the top, especially from a distance. I think if we throw one or two here or there that just stick upward just a little bit higher than all the rest of the trees, I think that'll be cool too. Lots to do still. Lots to do. Should be good though whenever it's all done. I don't know if I want to do more than just the basic like floor covering, or if I want to add in boulders or like dead logs or something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We shall see. One step at a time. And there could be some really good suggestions, either from Twitch chat and YouTube chat, whatever, from our streams, or someone in the comment section when we release the video has a really good idea. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm stealing that. I'm gonna shout you out, but I'm stealing it too. Thank you. Lots to do. This section's a little weird. Blackstone already. It does feel bad using so much of it for terraforming when I could be using it for builds, but we are doing this to get more blackstone. And I have to keep telling myself that so that I don't feel too bad. Not too shabby. Okay. Other half. There's not too many of these lower sections, I don't think, but it's been a little while. I do really enjoy the contrast between the dark colors and the greens. Very excited to explore that in the future. Oh, but I'm not looking forward to collecting mud. I really don't like doing that. And there's no easy way to do it AFK. Just gotta do it the manual way. Oh. Whoops. I'm gonna miss so many blocks that are just like just out of my vision or not seeing because they're tucked behind a corner. We're gonna find empty spaces across this thing for a while. That's okay though. Okay, that was easy. I think there's... If we finish up this half... Oh, there's still so much to do. Most of this we're going to need Beatrice for, though. But a lot of this lower area we can fill in without her. I just really don't want to drag her across the nether. What I need to do is give Beatrice a home. She needs to not be outside under a tree, which is where she currently is. She's out back underneath a tree in the rain, the elements. I gotta fix that, which maybe I could do. Maybe I could do that with the next project that we'll have after we finish the temple. It's like a facade on one side, yeah. Yeah, if we take off the schematic, it's so bad. Look at how choppy that is. So bad. Oh, I can see a block I'm missing. There's gonna be a lot of that. It'll be good whenever it's done, though. Just gotta keep telling yourself that. We'll get there. It'll look good. It'll be worth the time and effort, hopefully. We'll see how YouTube likes it. Thumbnail looking mountain. Yeah. That's the point. And then we'll do the back in another thumbnail, and but the back won't be the focus. The temple will be the focus. So that way you're not thinking about it too much. Still stand. Go to bed. Sleep is important. Oh, whoops. Can I get through anymore? Yeah. Sleep is very important. I swear I heard pillagers again. Oh, there are some. Okay. Maybe I wasn't going crazy earlier. Oh. I'm getting antsy sitting here. I think I've been sitting for too long. Need to get up and open a cupboard or something. That's crazy. No, I definitely need my sleep. I get real cranky. We don't want to see cranky Coda. Neither does my wife. She doesn't appreciate cranky Coda. I'll be very careful about my sleep. It's a little awkward corner here. I use the axiom for like placing the trees, and it's pretty good, but there are some trees that are just a little wonky looking. Yeah. Keep the lyrics going. Oh, I was thinking about musicals earlier. You guys big musical people? My wife and I enjoy the musical here or there, but I was thinking about there's the Hadestown Pro Shot. Hadestown, not Hadestown. Pro Shot in theaters right now. And it's not playing anywhere near us. And I wish it was, because we'd want to go see that. Yeah, I usually don't get hangry, but I will get cranky because of sleep. Yeah, I agree. I really hope it comes to streaming, because I want to see it. I haven't listened to all the songs, and I don't want to until I've seen it, so I can like contextualize everything. That's just how I enjoy the musicals. But it's not playing anywhere near us, and that is really sad and unfortunate. Okay, what's that block supposed to be? Mud? I think I can, yeah, just do that. Let me attack that from the top. Oh, I guess that works. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I just don't want to waste too many blocks, you know? Spend a lot of time collecting all this stuff. Okay, what are you supposed to be? Salt. No, you should go to sleep. Can I climb this? Sort of? Yeah, you just gotta get the right rhythm to it. But yeah, I want to go see Hadestown, or Hadestown. I don't know why. I can't get it in my mind that it's Hadestown. I spent the longest time mentally pronouncing it as Hadestown for whatever reason. I understand the context why it's Hadestown, but my brain does not want to cooperate for whatever reason. One condition, tell me when your next stream is. It will be around this time on Monday. So for you, I guess Tuesday morning next week. And I will also post it on, if you follow the YouTube channel, there will be an unlisted, or I guess a scheduled stream that you can see it in your local time right after this one ends, or tomorrow, I guess. And then y'all get sun for a long time during the summer. Yeah, I suppose so. I want to see Jack Wolf as Orpheus, but unfortunately didn't manage to get to see it before he left. Yeah, legendary Orpheus, the Irish Orpheus. He's in, if you have Amazon Prime, he plays Moriarty in Young Sherlock, and he gives a really good performance. And he's very Irish in that. And it's perfect. And more people need to watch it so that we can get approved for a season 2. Yeah, it is. Surprise. That's my wife and I's exact reaction to finding out that that was him. Yeah. If you've seen it, yeah, it's a really good show. I highly recommend it. I'm glad the multi-chat's working out too. That's a lot simpler to read and see, hopefully to interact with people. Honestly, I'd be down for a rewatch sometime soon. We watched it when it first came out. Good nights. Get some sleep. Actually, Moriarty was one of my favorite characters in that adaptation. Yeah, he was. I really thought like his turn to dark. Oh, a bit of spoilers. I guess it's based off of books that have been out, and Sherlock Holmes has been around for a while, so you know that Moriarty becomes a villain. I kind of thought that in the show it'd be more of a slow burn, and not like slowly turning by the end of the series. And it was kind of like, it felt a little bit rushed, being sort of like the last 2 episodes where he kind of turns. Which, I mean, you knew he was coming, so whatever. But I just kind of thought it would take a little bit longer. But if you didn't know, they're based off of a book series. So, like, they're not even coming up with it for the show specifically. It's based off of young Sherlock novels. So it should be easier for them to write scripts for and get out seasons. It just, people need to watch it. One more thing, please do a hardcore SMP like your own server. That's a loaded question or slash request. Doing servers is incredibly tedious and time consuming. But I would like to one day have one. It's just a matter of when that day comes. Yeah, we really liked Young Sherlock, and I would love for them to make more episodes. We're looking for a show to watch right now, too, so I might suggest that. We're talking about, like, different fall shows and movies, and trying to save ones that are going to get us in the fall spirit for when it's actually a little bit cooler outside, to kind of maximize our Halloween and fall vibes, I suppose. Good night. Have you ever seen Enola Holmes? It's Sherlock Holmes' younger sister. They have 3 movies. Me and my sister love them. Yeah, I think the first 2. I have yet to see the third because I got rid of Netflix before it came out. But yeah, they were fun movies. I don't mind Millie Bobby Brown. It's a little, I know people talk about it and give her crap because she's got a bit of like plastic surgery, I suppose, is what the face stuff is. But that's like a big issue nowadays in Hollywood, is all these people playing like historic characters, and then they also have, you know, like lip injections and I don't even know what types of plastic surgery, but I heard people complaining about that, and I was like, whatever. It is a little strange once you like actually notice it, especially like since we were introduced to Millie Bobby Brown so young in her career, that it's just strange to see her as like an actual adult and not just 11 from Stranger Things season 1. Zombie, training the cancellation gods to ignore the precious young Sherlock. Yes, I agree. I mean, Amazon Prime is typically pretty good, and I actually looked yesterday or the day before at their ratings. They have over 1,000 IMDb ratings that like Amazon shows on the app, and it's at like 4.8 stars or something like that. So it's very highly rated. I just don't know if it's like the viewership is there, which is like half of the problem, unfortunately. Like even if something is really good, they won't not guaranteed to make more of it if still people didn't see it, which doesn't make sense to me. That's just a marketing problem. That's not a we shouldn't produce more of this really good show. Still mad at Netflix for both Shadow and Bone, and I am not okay with this. Yeah, I heard something about, I think, Shadow and Bone. People, executives are stupid. People are cool. Executives suck. They don't know what we want. Also, how are we going to fight for a second season of Young Sherlock and we have like 27 Masked Singer seasons? Did I fix that sheep farm? I went the fizzly way and just went manual. And it still took forever. Hold on, let's look at the statistics. Times used. Where are the tools? My stats. Would it be an... I can just search, I guess. Shears. Times used. 3,589 times I have sheared sheep. And some of that is from like light gray wool earlier in the series, but I'm sure at least 2,000 of that came from this project because I had to gather over a shulker and a half of green wool, and I did most of it by hand. Watch The Walking Dead. I'm only on my 14th. Yeah, I like The Walking Dead, and then the seasons kind of dragged along, and I didn't like the later seasons. After they killed Glenn, I was like, why am I here? Steven Yeun isn't here. Why am I here? You know? I love my boy Steven Yeun. Don't knock it when it works. Yeah, it does. It just took so long. And then like I could have expanded the sheep farm more, but I was afraid that I would get to the point where like they wouldn't replenish the grass. Like there'd be too many sheep in the pen for them to let the grass regrow. And so I just kind of stuck and just said, whatever, I'll just take time. The only really, the worst part about it was that it was the last resource that I needed. And so I couldn't do anything else while waiting. I just basically only had to wait. So it felt like I was wasting my time just doing the one thing. And that I think is what upset me the most. But whatever. It's a video game. That grass was all eaten, none to regen in the farm. Once you all shear them, they won't have any to eat and grow again. Yeah, and that's what I was worried about. Not enough grass. Oh, you're talking about a different sheep farm. Oh, you're talking about like the pen that I have. Yeah, I did a completely different sheep farm for this green wool. I understand what you're talking about. No, and that's fine. I think I did see that actually. Read out platform 1 block underneath and fill it with grass. They can get those. They can't get those. Oh, but it still regrows. Might have to look at that. But I want to leave it the way that it is because it gives me an excuse to actually make a sheep farm, like a real one, a passive one for the future. Hello, welcome Jeffrey. Welcome, welcome. We are just working on the volcano. We got a maybe half of it is done. There's still a good chunk to do, and I'm not sure how far I want to go up this side because I know I should be careful. There's no creepers or anything, right? Because I will need Beatrice for like the upper section, but who knows? Oh, hey. Thank you for the raid. That's interesting. Granny Peach raid. Okay. Welcome, raiders. Haven't heard that sound before. Welcome to the volcano build that we're doing. We are working on a gold farm that's being covered up by a volcano. That's strange. I am doing okay, Jeffrey. Thank you for asking. A little bit tired now. Hello, people. Cool shape, thank you. Yeah. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm working on producing more. I'm sorry about the wait and the delay. Not doing okay, but food thing. Or anyways, I'm gonna head out. Remember to slay queens, period. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the stream. Thank you, queen. I appreciate that. I will try my best to slay the rest of the day away. I was thinking about it. We should rename the mods in Discord to Diva Squad. Right now, they are captains, and I think Diva just has a nice ring to it, especially because I think all my mods are female. Nice stream so far. Good, good. 2 months. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're getting there. I had to take a little mental break and, you know, refresh my creative juices, but we are back with a vengeance. Obviously, I mean, look at how big this is. And I'm doing good. I am so excited to finish this project and get the video out. So hopefully, you'll be here when we release it, and it'll be good. Still have so much editing to do, but yeah. Yes, emotes. I really need to get my emotes sorted out. Need to get some general ones. Yeah, I appreciate the people that are sticking around though. Should be a fun project. I got a lot of plans for the world that I just need to get to, and I'm hoping that streaming will help us get there a little bit faster so that I have, you know, dedicated time to do work instead of letting my brain wander and do random other stuff. I'm excited though. I'm excited because there's I think I'm going to let myself do some more creative focused projects, and we're not going to have like only hardcore videos for the rest of the year. We should have a couple of fun out of left field videos, I suppose. Ones that aren't the typical style that you guys might be used to. But I hope it's something fun and that people enjoy. That's a big part of it. People need to enjoy it as well. Such a cool build. Are you putting anything inside, or is it just like decor? Yeah, we are. Oh, we at some point are going to, not some point. After we get most of the exterior finish, we are going to work on a temple out of the back of the volcano, and then from the temple, we are going to build an interior, which is going to be like the interior of a volcano. It's going to be filled with lava. There's going to be a portal, which you can see right now. Maybe. Yeah, right there. That is the exit portal for the gold farm where all the piglin fall out of. So they are eventually going to fall into a lava pit with, you know, geysers coming out of it and a bunch of cool particles. And from there, they're going to be packaged into gold blocks and sent to a bartering farm. And that's all going to be incorporated as much as I can in the overworld side. So we're going to be building out like a temple, a sacrificial platform, something like that on the inside. It's going to be chains holding up the portal. It'll be a whole thing. But it's not going to be in this episode because this has already taken me a long time to do. It's a big project by itself. So we're going to split it up into two, and we're actually going to design some of it together next Monday. So that'll be fun. Get to do our first designing together stream. Mostly. I have like an idea of what I want, but I mean, really nothing's designed. So we're going to have fun basically figuring out all of it together. Yeah, it should be fun. And it's very much different than what we have been working on so far in the rest of our world. And I think that's what makes it a bit more fun. It's because we have a bit of a style variety, I suppose. And we get to work on something just a little bit different. And then once we're done with this project, we're going to go and do something cool in our main area. Like literally right where everything else is. Oh, I think I stuck. I stuck. There we go. Nope, I missed it. Oh, that's okay. I can reach like that. And I can rock it up there. That's fine. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. A lot of good projects. I'm excited to finish the year out strong and then take another little break in January, I think. But there should be lots of streams between now and then. I made it my goal at the beginning of this year was to stream more. And I don't think I have streamed this year yet. So we're going to make up for lost time and do a bunch before the year is out. I think that's the move, right? That's how I did all my homework in high school. Just wait till the last minute and get it all done at the end. Still graduated. I am nothing if not a procrastinator, I suppose. Cobbled. Okay, this part's a little hard, but once you get up, it's not that bad. Unless I get stuck again. Nope. Okay. I'm in a hole. That's okay. Lots of different blocks, and I was very purposeful to not use a huge variety because I don't hate myself, and I would have hated myself if I used more than the blocks than I did. More than the blocks that I did. That's English. Proper. My puppies are getting tired. They're both napping. One's in the hallway, one's by my desk. Poor things. They have such a hard life. I really should share pictures in the Discord of my dogs. I think you guys would appreciate that. I have both are rescues, sort of. Well, I guess, yeah, both are rescues. We got one of them from a shelter, and the other one we got from my wife's friend's boyfriend at the time. So one of them is we got a DNA test done on him. He's a mutt through and through, but mostly German Shepherd. And what are you? I don't remember what he is. We have a picture of it somewhere. And then my other dog, she is also a mutt, but she looks very husky, and you can tell that she's mostly husky. My other dog, I've just got no clue what he is. I'm not very good with dogs. Yeah, I'll have to send some pictures. We've got some cute ones, and they do some weird stuff. They're really strange dogs sometimes. And we have my son Timber. He is our older dog. We've had him for a lot longer, and then when we moved into this place, we got Suki. She's our other dog. Bisley will appreciate the reference. That was an Atla name that I snuck into our list, and my wife agreed. She does feel like a Suki though. She's a tan husky, but she's smaller and not super. She's pretty fluffy, but not as bad as normal huskies are. I would feel bad about having a husky here, like a purebred, but she stays cool most of the time. I don't even think I have like a real life photo section in the Discord. I should though, like a pets thing specifically. I think people would like that. We got a naming theme going on in the Discord, so probably something like Pet Plaza or Animal Avenue. Something that sounds like it could go in Monopoly. Alright, cooking. This music is making me very productive. Like in the zone. Mostly. Mostly in the zone. I feel close to the end, and I know we don't have like... No, actually, I shouldn't say that. We do have a lot to do still. So we have like the entire backside. Isn't Park Place an actual Monopoly area? Yeah, I think so. Go to bed, dude. You need some sleep. I guess it's fine if you're lurking. Use the stream to fall asleep too. I can turn on some bedtime music. I'm gonna go to sleep right after this. Actually, I'm gonna eat, and then that's probably gonna make me energized. Today, maybe I have at least an hour left if I feel like going for an hour more. And in that time, we might be able to finish most of the land. We're definitely not going to get to the land and the trees. So in that regard, no, we're not going to finish. Well, I'm not going to stop replying to you because I would feel mean for that. So just put it in the background, turn it down a little bit, and just enjoy the sounds of conversation. But no, I would like to finish most of the terrain in this stream if we can. And then I need to go through and do the trees. And then after that, we're going to do the undergrowth. And then it'll be mostly done, I think. I don't know if there's anything else that I'd want to put into at least this video specifically. Because again, I want to do the temple, but that's going to be part 2 after this video comes out. I just need to focus on getting this one done. It's been too long without a video. I'm surprised we haven't had to go back for any resources, though. I feel like I had to make several trips whenever I was doing the green sections. But maybe I grabbed just enough. It's not been too bad. I mean, obviously, easy place makes it really easy, but so far, I've only worked on it today. I started around 3 p.m. and is now 9 p.m. It's pretty good progress for one day. See how much I can get finished over the weekend and then go from there. Ideally, not too long. Not too long. Maybe a week and a half. Last comment. I'll believe you when I see it. This one's one of my favorite songs on Epidemic. It's a very chill and psychedelic song. I really like this one. I think my dogs are going to annoy me to go outside. They might need a potty break. Yeah, give me a minute. Hang on. Let me just do this one little section. They get so hyper. It's like they go from sleeping or doing nothing to up in my face. Actually, they don't stand in my face. They stand right there where I can see them on the other side of the desk, and they make aggressive eye contact, but just out of nowhere. Like, it doesn't build up or anything. They're just active after being sleepy or, you know, somewhere else in the house for however long. Ridiculous. Are you cooking your breakfast? What are you having? We were talking about food earlier. Actually, hold that. I'm just gonna let them out. We'll go to, I think I figured out the break screen. Nope, hold on.
I just spent 50 days building trees.
Hopefully it's
not
playing
50
sound.
Minecraft days,
Okay, I'll be
but
right
50 real-life days. Before this challenge started, my trees looked like this. And after 50 days and 50 different trees, this is where we're at now. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy 50 trees in 50 days. Oh, and the world download and all the schematics are linked in the description. Love ya! I wanted to kick off this challenge with a classic, the oak tree. I feel like an oak tree is the tree everyone subconsciously draws if they're asked to draw a tree. The default Minecraft tree gives us that iconic shape, but the scale is actually way off. According to Google, certain species of oak trees can reach over 40 meters tall and 30 meters wide. If the average Minecraft oak tree is 6 or 7 blocks tall, that means these are actually only about 1/5 of their true-to-life size. The only semi-accurate oak tree in-game would be the giant oak tree, which really isn't giant. It's only still about halfway to a fully mature size. Could you imagine if we had true-to-size giant oak trees in-game? I imagine it would be like if dark oak and giant taiga biomes had a baby. Oh, and did you know, a single oak tree can produce up to 10,000 acorns in a year, which is coincidentally the same amount of subscribers I'm trying to reach this year. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I mean, look at that. It looks like you're going to be thrown on a quest that will change your life if you walk through there. They're really something. Oh, and did you know? Willows can grow fast, up to 8 feet per year, and they're mostly found near water, which explains why I don't see them very often. Anyway, let me know what you think of the willow tree, and do you think there's any contenders for a more majestic tree? Today was day 2 of 50 trees in 50 days. I'll see you tomorrow. Now, today's tree was originally going to be part of a build challenge I had going in my Discord server, but time got the better of me and I didn't get it done until today, which for those of you watching in the future is October 31st, Halloween. Yeah, I'm a terrible procrastinator. And I know it's a little late in the month to be doing spooky challenges, but it's better late than never. Now, I've actually already built a spooky tree before in my Forever world, but that one was kind of limited to size. Today I wanted to challenge myself and go all out. Gnarly shapes, jagged edges, a creepy face carved in the trunk, a truly spooky tree. I feel like I've done a really bad job getting into the holiday spirit this year. I haven't watched a single scary movie this month. I don't know, I need to make up for it somehow. Anyway, let me know what you think of this tree. I'm gonna go put on a movie or something. Today was day 3 of 50 trees in 50 days. I'll see you tomorrow. Now, I really like birch trees, more in person than I do in game, but I still like them. I feel like the problem with the in-game tree is that it's just hard to use the logs in builds. I love the birch planks, I love the stripped wood, but if you're trying to use the log in anything for building, it's not the best. But if you're trying to build a birch tree, it's perfect. Oh, and then there's that sour taste in my mouth that I just can't quite place. Anyways,
hopefully that wasn't too bad. A little something to keep you guys entertained. The puppies went out and then immediately like stood by the door and wanted to come back inside, so I made them stay out for a little bit. They'll probably bother me in another half an hour or so. The joys of having fur babies, I suppose. Oh, we're back. So, no clue. Oh, I didn't even see. Little Peach, thank you for the follow. 17 minutes ago. Hopefully you're still around. I apologize for not seeing that. Also, I don't know if I've seen any notifications come up, but clearly I wasn't paying attention, so I am unsure. Should I... Do we try and just work up sideways, or do we go from all the bottom? We can do that. All the bottom. Get this first, and then work our way up. We need borders. Also hope the break video wasn't too loud. It wasn't peaking or anything. It was around a little higher than I think my voice is right now, which is fine because it's supposed to be an energetic YouTube video. And this is supposed to be a chill stream. Thank you. No, stop it. I'm just trying to eat. Thank you. Okay. Get rid of that. It will be nice to reclaim all of my shulker boxes. I had to go end raiding at the beginning of the episode because I think I had like maybe 10 shulker boxes left, and we needed a lot more than that for this project. So it'll be nice to... We used them all, by the way. We used all the shulker boxes that I got end raiding, and now I'm reclaiming them all. Hopefully for the better. I mean, this is a huge project, so it would make sense that we used a lot. I mean, we had like 12 boxes dedicated just to moss, so it makes sense. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's why, probably. I was confused why I didn't see the other messages there. What did you have for breakfast? Oh, talking about food might make me more hungry. I'm not like super hungry, but I feel like as soon as we start talking about it, I like breakfast food. Breakfast food is some of my favorite. I really like, I was craving earlier, my dad's biscuits and gravy. Yeah, talk about nostalgia. Food from your childhood. Oh, we found this really good breakfast spot, or my wife did. She found this really good breakfast spot, and they have some incredible food, and it's fairly priced, which is a big ask nowadays. That is a big part of finding a good place to eat, is that they also have fair prices, because everyone is just so ridiculous these days. figure out what's behind that leaf block. Cobble deep slate. Easy enough. Easy enough. Oh, okay. I guess there wasn't that much covering it. We need more motivational music for this length of the end of the stream. The last hour, we need to turn up the beats. Make it more entertaining. I'm missing a block. It's fine. Good old Scar music. I'm glad that we didn't have to clear out too much of it on Monday's stream. I think that would have been a bit more tedious. Should we start leveling out? To get a bit more of this by jumping. I'm really surprised we haven't run out of materials yet. I'm okay if I collected too many. Because I'm going to use them eventually. This is a very similar palette to what we use in our other builds. Oh, nothing up there. I'm not going to spawn-proof this, though. I refuse. I don't think it's necessary whatsoever. Do need to get rid of that vine, though. Can I? Actually, let me go to the top. Do that, right? Yeah. Should be an end to it. Just going to be a little tedious. There we go. Not too shabby. Doesn't affect the rates to have spawns on the outside, right? No. So this one is nether based. So all of the stuff is on the roof of the nether, and then they just get teleported to the overworld. And that removes the rates. So like I'll just be AFKing in the nether. And it won't have anything to do with this overside, thankfully. Because I have had that problem before in stream, or not in stream, in farm projects. Have you gotten your ghast yet, or don't need her? I have decided to try without Beatrice. I think it's maybe a little bit safer without her, because I don't want one of these skeletons to shoot her and have to get a third Beatrice. But mostly, I mean, we're making it work, sort of. And it's not too bad yet. If it gets too annoying, I might still just suck it up, because it is more of a time thing at that point. It would take so long to get her over here in the first place that it might not even be worth trying, you know? Please don't blow up. Just don't do it. Okay. Gotta love creepers, man. It's the built-in griefing mechanic that's still in the game for some reason. You can't remove creepers. Creepers are too iconic, and they're really not that bad to deal with. I changed one of the game rules in the world so that way creepers, when they do blow up, because it happens, there's no way. I mean, as much preventing as you can, there's still going to be a creeper that finds its way into your base. I just made it so that they always drop the blocks, and they don't destroy blocks whenever they blow up. I think that's a fair compromise to completely removing them. But I only do that with phantoms, because phantoms are way too annoying and stupid, and they serve no purpose whatsoever. Where did... Oh, okay. I just duplicated my shovel? No. It's just a stinky iron shovel from one of you zombies. Oh, no. I can, but I kind of like the not sleeping through the night. I also don't really agree with the day-nighttime mechanic, but... You know. That's just me. Especially whenever I'm working on builds and whatnot, it's such an interruption to go and find a bed every 10 minutes just to, you know, make half of the game not happen. So I'm complaining about something that that's optional and I'm doing to myself. I can't quite reach that. It's okay. This thing will be a mob farm though, not in the right way once we're done. It'll be a gold farm, but then there's also going to be so many mobs on the inside. Just constantly. Don't do that. Reminds me of the swooping evil from the Fantastic Beasts series. I have only watched the first movie, I think. So I'm not quite sure what that is. But I can imagine. I know what phantoms are. I really hope, like, I don't mind that they're in the game. I just don't think that they should be tied to insomnia. Like, I don't think the player should be punished for just not sleeping. I think if they did an end update and then move the phantoms to the end, yeah, that'd be fine. They'd be equally annoying because, you know, whenever you don't have an elytra and you're trying to bridge over the void and a phantom comes and knocks you off, that'll be annoying. But it'll be okay and preventable. Unlike the insomnia thing where you're just kind of punished for playing and getting distracted. It's a bird-looking thing that likes to eat brains. Ugh. Is that the first one? Either an end void mob or like add a biome to the end. Like they could be birds in a forest, like an end forest or something. I don't know. Just not where they are. They also don't make sense. Like just randomly every 3 days without sleeping, a giant flying rat is going to appear out of nowhere. Like I know there's not a lot of lore in Minecraft, but that doesn't make any sense. And it's very universally hated. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it like a really big one? With like a long beak? It's been a while too since I've seen them. Yeah, I mean, this really isn't too bad without Beatrice. Please be active to keep views growing. Yeah, we're trying. And yeah, it starts out as this little hanging ball, and then he can throw it. Vaguely remember. The only little thing I remember, or the creature that's coming to mind right now, is that little thing that stole gold. That kind of looked like a kiwi, like the bird kiwi, but also like a mole. Isn't it a mole? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. We're working on getting the videos out. I just had to take a little creative break. I promise there won't be too much of a gap in the future. Niffler. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, we're working on getting the next one out. Slowly but surely. I mean, it's taking its time. But I did this to myself too. I mean, I did not need to build anything this big. Of course I'm going to read your chat. We're here to make conversation and hang out with people. Especially, you know, when there's a drought in videos. It's a good way to reconnect and re-engage with people. And we get to get some work done. Good. I'm glad your life is going very well. That is a good thing to have happen. Oh, I think I said I was going to do this like straight across and then up, but I just kind of went for it. My brain is completely off right now. We're just placing and chatting about bad game mechanics. We already talked about the update, the new update in last stream, but feels like we're approaching another update talk. I'm going to talk a little bit about it in my my video as well. Just kind of give my thoughts and opinions to the general audience that may not have been here on Monday. But, you know, it's a few people. But I'm definitely not like an update channel kind of guy. I did try to do like the occasional update video, but I don't think it's really worth my time. It's fun to like practice with the new stuff, which might be a fun video in and of itself, but it's already a cornered market, I think. Erupt after building. No, we are going to build a temple out of the back of it, and the inside of it we're going to sacrifice piglins to. It's going to be like a whole lava pit and a ritual of some kind that's in the center. And then the only kind of like upper detail thing that I have right now planned out, not planned out, I'm just going to do is some cloud coverage. I think we're going to do some custom clouds. But that's about it. Maybe you should build slice by slice from down to up. Yeah, I could, but this is also... doing the easy place, it's a lot faster to just do it all at once, or like have all the layers visible. Just because doing it layer by layer is a little bit tedious. And then you also don't know how far left you have to go. This way I can kind of see like, oh, we did that chunk pretty fast, and now we're on to the rest of it. Oh no, wasting blocks. Where's the other one? That mud is precious to me. Yeah, there's still a lot to do with the volcano. We're going to split it up into 2 videos and be a good time. And hopefully we'll have some more live streams too after the design one. I just don't know what that would be yet. We'll either do more creative streams trying to work on the video, or we'll do some resource collecting streams or more building ones. Maybe we can do not Lightmatica building ones, and we can work on some of the village or other projects around the actual base. Use our brains instead of mindlessly looking and placing and clicking. Not that I'm not having a blast doing this. Yeah, probably. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean by like viewer? Then yeah, something like that. I'm not entirely sure though. We got people on both sides of YouTube and Twitch, so it's kind of hard to keep track. Oh, chat leaderboard. Yeah, that's a YouTube thing, isn't it? Likely, yeah. Had a few active chatters, but I'm sure it's not that hard to dethrone them. I don't think... most people have, like, come and gone, you know? They're just here to hang out for a couple minutes, and we will have that. That's pretty much all we're doing for the entirety of streams. Just hanging out and chatting. Saying hi to people as they pass on through. I do worry that our conversations might end up being a little repetitive. But I can chat. I can talk, I think. Should I try and rocket or build up here? I can build up here. I don't want to smash my face into that thing. Nope, that's wrong. Mud, and then let me break through here. Okay. And then turn that back on. Perfect. Almost the whole time. Thank you, Lottie, for being here. So some people aren't on it as well. You can turn it off so some people aren't on it. You mean like it'll refresh or just have it off? Still learning the ways here. Smooth basalt. No, okay, let me place mud, smooth basalt. Okay, we'll do that. That was a mistake. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not that hard without Beatrice. I was a little bit worried at first, but this will be fine. This is like the worst section of it. The most vertical area. And like I clicked the thing not to participate or see it. I hate all the badges cluttering the screen. Yeah, it is kind of a lot. Like I I'm kind of glazing over which commenters are from which platform. I think because of that, there's so many icons here. But I guess the leaderboard doesn't come through on the bot that I'm using that combines the chats. So I'm sure it would be a different beast if I were trying to look at that as well. Yeah, something I can look into. Oh, this is why we keep the green. That's why I kept the green in my inventory. Because we'll need it for that. Again, just so surprised we haven't had to go back for any resources. I say as I have a bunch on Twitch, lol, but that's more organized at least. Yeah, it is. And YouTube's just trying too much. They're trying to be different in too many ways, and it's just not working. Like you just either copy Twitch because they know what works, or stop. Like just stop. There's a point where it's just a little too embarrassing. But I am not someone that is familiar with the Twitch ecosystem, so I really have no room to talk. Stop it. Twitch is a niche and it does its job well. You are correct. And you know that it does its job well because there are so many people trying to copy what they do and try and make it better. But it's not going to happen. Twitch just has it. They have the simplest version of the idea, and that's the reason that they are successful with it. Not simple. It's a very complex thing, but, you know. When I don't know what it is. It must be something with this area. When I was designing this thing, there were countless pillager patrols spawning in as well. We've had like 2 or 3 just doing the terrain clearing and the building. And I think there might have been about that many when I was designing as well. Ridiculous. Trying to invite a friend. Sure. Yeah, have them join up. I think you just have to send them the link. I appreciate the help. It's fun though. I haven't it's been a fun time trying to stream more. Granted, we've only made it to 2 streams, but it's more than it was before. By a lot. The vibe. The vibe is immaculate. Also, I don't know why, but I was just really in a tropical mood. Like, I really just wanted to build something tropical and fun. I think that's part of the reason that I did the volcano. Basically a different interface, and it tends to be more communal than the YouTube side of streaming. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube, as much as they like try and be a community platform, they just don't, they haven't really captured it yet, I don't think. Like, they have the community tab that is, you know, their version of, I guess, like Twitter or Instagram, I suppose. Just like, it's not really doing much of anything. And it's not good for interacting, really. Because most people just see it in their feed, if they get it at all. And most of the time, they're just swiping right by. Like, you can use it for updates and whatnot, but it's really not the go-to way to do that. Jungle calls, yeah, I know. I'm just, my soul is calling me to be on a beach right now. And I think it's translating into the builds. 2 algorithm based, so there are no rewards for staying with a single channel. Yeah. Yeah, they haven't quite figured out the identical 2 subs. Oh, hey, we're out of mud. Finally. They haven't figured out a way to copy subs and make it a YouTube thing, because memberships don't work. Memberships is not a subs equivalent. They are far too different. And then memberships themselves are a complicated thing, because there are so many like different ways to approach a membership as a viewer and as a creator that it maybe is overwhelming for some people. Let me get rid of some of these empties. And gifting memberships is not a thing, really. Yeah, and yeah, obviously gifting subs is huge on Twitch. I didn't know you couldn't gift memberships. So you can basically just donate on YouTube and that's it. Not a lot going for it. What was that? Oh, I was scared. I think that was the environmental noise. Okay, most of those are cleared. Yeah, that's fine. Mud. Mud. We'll get two. We'll just get the rest of this, actually. I think we have enough deeps. We'll get one more. We'll get one more deep slate. Okay. Hello, fly. Okay. Now we just gotta find where exactly we were. As far as I know, yeah. That... I think that sounds right. I don't think there's any way to gift memberships. Actually... No, I think there might be. I remember... Zedaf tweeting about... like, receiving a gift membership thing on YouTube, but... because, like, the weird conversion rates, he didn't end up... It was some weird thing about gifting memberships in a YouTube stream. So it might be there. It might just be a really niche and weird approach. The only Minecraft YouTuber I've seen with a Twitch-type community on YouTube was Techno. Yeah, I was never around for Techno's heyday before he passed along. I'm a little sad about. I didn't know about him until after it was too late. Seems like he would have been a cool guy. Oh, tough. Okay. Oh, and I heard a bit of the like techno LARP situation going on. Hope that gets resolved. I didn't hear much about it after hearing that his dad requested that guy stop. How much longer will you stream? Today, probably another 40 minutes. Likely-ish. Made some amazing videos. I still go back and watch them. You know, I could do that. I could just go and watch his videos. I never thought about that. I see like clips on TikTok sometimes. But yeah, his videos have not gone anywhere. I could totally go back and experience them. I might do that. I go back and watch Etho videos. Oh, last year I was... You know, YouTube does what every other platform... They just copy. They copy what other people are doing. So they did a Spotify Wrapped, but for your YouTube videos last year. Like what you watched. And I was in Etho's like top 0.01%. And I really wish that I had screenshotted that. But basically, I had just spent most of the year falling asleep to old Etho LP videos. And so it put me way higher than I was. But that was fun. I really should have kept that screenshot. I would have loved to parade around as an Etho girl with genuine proof that I watched a ton of Etho. Let me get some of these green blocks out now. God, I love this so much. It's so freeing to just work on a complicated build without worrying about how long it's going to take to put together. To be fair, being a top Etho girl is a very high title. It is. I would have beat out most other people, especially with that statistic. And I thought about trying to like replicate it this year just for the clout, but I was like, that's anti-Etho girl. You know, it has to be a normal interaction between me and the slab. What are we doing here? Okay, give me that. Give me that. We're not wasting these blocks. Hello? Okay. Strange. Yeah, Etho is quite the legend. And I think it's funny how much people fangirl over him. Rightfully so. I mean, dude was foundational in the YouTube Let's Play community. And still is. No Etho girl has to be genuine. I feel like I have to be genuine with it. Hello. I mean, I still catch each of his new uploads. I just fall asleep to different stuff now. There was a time, though. I had little Etho sheeps jumping across my brain, trying to fall asleep. Counting slabs, I guess. Unironically, I would probably wear Etho Girl merch. Like, there's not a lot of a Minecraft merch that I would rep, and B, any kind of YouTuber merch that I would rep. The only merch that I have ever bought was Life Series merch, and that was the, I have the Bleeding Hearts hoodie, and I have the Heart Balloons hoodie. Both of which, if you know what it is, you know. Like, it's kind of like a if you know, you know type of thing. But if you don't know, and I can wear it out in public, and people don't know what it is, and I still get compliments. People are like, oh, that's a cool hoodie, because it's a cool design that doesn't really scream, hey, this is a really niche Minecraft series that I'm into, by the way. But the people that know, I've gotten a couple of people that like give me the look. They're like, I know what that is, and you're a goat for repping that. And then I go, oh, thanks, yeah. You know, we can have a little chat, but that's it. Yeah, Etho would never do merch, but if he did, that would be the quickest sellout ever. What we really need is like Gem or Green to do an Etho girl hoodie. And that way, it's like, it still fits because they're really good friends and they're really close, but it's a lot better than some random person doing an Etho girl merch. Have you seen the shorts that Scar is selling right now with the sunflower? Same type of deal, and I'm so tempted. Hey, Eddie. Yeah, Scar has such good, like, fashion sense. All of his merch drops are good. They're good quality. They got a good vibe to them. They look cool. The designs are cool. I'm sure the stuff is quality fabric and whatnot. Yeah, if anyone's gonna do Etho Girl merch, I'm pretty sure it's got to be Gemma Korean. But I'm talking like it has to be like borderline cringe, but in a way that makes it I guess kind of meta, you know? It's gotta be a little cringe at the very least though. I can't wait to do merch. I have a couple ideas, but I am nowhere near big enough to do merch yet. I'm really excited. I'm not like big into fashion, but I do enjoy, like me personally, I don't think I'm very fashionable, but I have, like I don't own fashionable things, but I have a bit of fashion sense and I enjoy, you know, looking at outfits that get put together. And like I follow a couple of fashion people on TikTok and I just don't participate basically, but it is fun. I think the styling part of it. And the hard part so far has been coming up on the hard part, like I'm anywhere near close to doing it. But the harder part is coming up with like ideas that are within the same vein that I like the Life Series merch for, stuff that can also exist on a non-niche YouTuber Minecraft realm and still be presented as cool. And so there's a couple of things that I've toyed with, but obviously it's still very, very early stages. Probably come out if they did a bit where they dress up skin version. Yeah, they did that for an MCC, I think. They dressed up as Etho. What we need is like a... Ooh, they should do like a Stolen Life as like a life series where they dress up as other characters, like other people's skins. And then it's kind of like a deduction game as well, like who's who. But that would be really hard because you need the voices. You have to hear people anyway. Maybe there's something there. That Stolen Life kind of sounds fun. Do I play Bed Wars? No. Oh, yeah, and I know. I have a positive attitude. I just think it's still far off, and I don't want to be overly optimistic to the point where it's... Like, I know I'm going to make it. I know. But I'm not going to be cocky about it. You know, I'm gonna have a little bit of humility when it comes to that. But I know I'm going to make it. Make the gas ton of hoodie, yeah. Could do something fun. But it also has to be a little contemporary. So it's got to be relative to whatever we're doing at the time. Like Scar, for instance, he does seasonal merch drops, which is a good way to do things, but he also does merch relative to his Hermitcraft season. So there's like the Scarland merch that got released. There's, I'm sure, going to be some like, there was Hawkeye merch. I'm sure there's going to be something with his current season at some point, but right now it's like a summer theme drop, which he has kind of themed off of one of his Life series characters. So it's all relative to like modern understandings of Scar. But if we were to do something with the Ghast, unless the Ghast becomes like some big part of our story and history, it might be a little lost on some people, but it could still be a fun design and good for like the OGs that have been here since the beginning. So there's way too many things to overthink about doing merch. Honestly, Girl Boss Gatekeep Gaslight would be a killer sweater. Yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like people would like that, and almost nobody right now, I'm sure, knows that reference. But we could bring it back. We could totally bring that back. Oh, when we do the baby gas, we could do Girl Boss Gaslight Gatekeep as little gas floating around our world. Could be. Could be. So far, most of the like universal merch ideas have been surrounded or surround like the chicken aspect of my brand identity. So it can very easily be changed or expanded, or we have like a chicken merch drop and a gas merch drop or something. But I also want something that isn't completely tied to Minecraft. Like I want, eventually there's going to be something that's like our thing, you know, with the channel, and it's going to be perfect to get merch of, I suppose. It all depends. Just a very far away hope and aspiration, but something I'm definitely thinking about right now, and it's got me excited. Also, I don't know if I do like seasonal merch or if I just have a constant merch shop. Like, I think Gem has one of those. But Scar does seasonal stuff. So it only comes around for a little limited time. And then Gem has print on demand. I don't know. There's merit to both. This is the business side of TikTok that YouTube that I really like. Diving into the analytics and overanalyzing some stuff. Did I skip anything or did we finish that? Wow. I can't believe we finished that. Why are you there? Oh, because his helmet broke. Okay. Like, there shouldn't be any holes that he can get out of. Seasonal stuff, I think, sells more than the on-demand. Oh, you start school tomorrow. Poor thing. Oh, school is not fun. Dogs are so weird. Yeah, I do think the seasonal or like the merch drops definitely probably sell more. Yeah, it is a little early, but not super early. It's not unheard of school starting in July. I mean, our schools here are about 2 weeks away. You guys have never heard of that? Yeah. I don't think it's a... Where are you from, Lottie? Oh, that 10th grade. Such a killer year. You're gonna have so much fun. 10th grade is like the last year before things start to get serious. And then junior year, you're like, oh my god, senior year is right on the horizon. And then senior year, oh my god, college is right on the horizon. And it's... 10th is basically the last... Really? September? That's crazy. I think September is like an East Coast thing. I remember back in PA it was September, but then here in Kansas it's August. Mississippi. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, we're right next to each other. We're neighbors. No, we're not. I'm thinking of Missouri. We're close to each other. That means it's... No, it's not too late yet, I suppose. It's only 9:30. You're not in the other time zone, are you? This is going fairly fast. I feel like I'm not really thinking about the stuff. I'm more focused on what we're talking about, and that's a good thing. Out of mud? Yeah. Have a nice rest of the holidays, bro, and enjoy it. Yeah. Summer's almost over. Although I will say, the older I get, the less I like summer. The more I think it's my least favorite season. How do I do this? That works. Yeah, longer breaks during the school. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think I've heard of that before. Did I? No. Okay, what are you supposed to be? Deep slate. Ears are starting to hurt. I love going to college because suddenly summer started in the beginning of May and went for 4 months. Yeah. And ask what the build is for. We are building a cover for a gold farm. So all of this is covering this. There's going to be more eventually, but this is the farm that we're covering up. And then eventually we're going to do an interior and stuff around the back. But that is currently what we're doing. A little insane when I put it into that perspective now that I'm thinking about it. But it'll look cool. It'll be worth it. I hope. Oh, not mean to fall that far. Yep, and we're talking about everything. Literally everything under the sun. Oh, what are you supposed to be? Deep slate. And deep slate, okay. Ugh. Okay, I think we're good. No holes that I can see. Yeah, for fun. This is fun. Fun, entertaining, engaging content. Hopefully. We'll see when the video comes out. We'll see how much people like it. I mean, it's no dragons. Fun and joy. Fun, joy, and happiness. Bye. We're almost there, though. We have the sort of difficult upper section, and then a pretty easy lower section comparatively on the backside. And then that's pretty much all I wanted to get done today, which we might finish in time. I do kind of have it hard out at 10, so we'll see. We didn't pause again, did we? No, it's just a quiet song. Okay. I really need more songs in this playlist. Just need to go through all my music on Epidemic. It's been a while, though. Yeah, this is a schematic I built, and now we're building it here in the world. But yeah, this was built on a creative copy of the world, and it is my design. And if you check out the episode when it releases, you'll see a little bit of the design process. Go behind the scenes and talk about the choices and how I did some of the stuff I did and learn a bit. If you want, you can always skip that section. I don't really care. But it's there for the interested. Please don't. Okay. Always worried. It's not been too bad so far. In total, I mean, other than collecting resources, we've spent... hold on, math. About 6 hours so far today on the actual build, and then about 4 hours on Monday clearing out some of the terrain. Materials, I think, is closer to like 14 hours, but not really sure. I have to look at the replays again. Watching from Australia. Why are you? You're in the middle of class. What are you doing? So good and hardcore. Thank you. I haven't really... I mean, it's not super challenging once you get it down. Once you understand how to be careful and cautious, but it's not going to save me from my stupidity. So hold your breath. Hopefully we make it pretty far. I don't want to restart just yet. It's a lot more to do. Yeah, it's a little stressful whenever I like think about it, but most of the time, as long as I'm, this song is just slow. Most of the time, I'm pretty conscious of me being in hardcore and needing to stay alive, so that kind of helps me make better decisions. Like, for instance, we're gonna put the chest piece on and then fight these guys. I'm gonna take it back off in case we fall. And I'm trying to go as long as I can without totems, because I think they're a little too cheaty, and I want to do something fun, and fun takes time. There's two babies. There's two babies. There's two babies. Okay. This is why we have a smite sword. That could have been way worse. Babies are like the scariest thing in this game. Hey, go. Get out of my hole. Actually, let's put that hand in there. Nope. Ugh, stop it. I'm just trying to build a volcano that I can sacrifice zombie piglins into. Make sure you watch what's behind your back, or you might just fall in a hole and die. Yep. That has happened to several people in hardcore Minecraft. Oh, this guy's a leader. Yeah, smite is one of the few reasons that I'm still alive. Zombies can very quickly overwhelm you. Same as skeletons. Skeletons can just be annoying, especially whenever there's multiple and you have to like jump between them and get them. Because if they just keep shooting you, they're going to do a bunch of damage. But if you have a smite sword, you can get rid of them pretty quickly. And then, you know, the occasional time you have to go up against a spider. Okay, oh well. No sharpness, but that's fine. And then creepers. You're running away. You're hitting them once and running away from them anyway. So smite really doesn't change anything with creepers. And then I have sharpness on my axe in case. But I'm also not running my axe right now. Okay, I'm tired of picking up all this junk though. And then I have a bow that I use basically only for end hunting. Don't really use spears because those can be dangerous in hardcore. Mostly just because they're newish and kind of weird to use. Like, you have to get a lot of momentum, and that changes how you approach fights. And I never use a mace. I don't think I've ever unironically used one. I basically used it when it first came out and then put it away and never cared about it again. They're cool looking, but they're very niche. And I think they're better with like an SMP where you control your friends. They're really not meant for playing solo. Almost done. Get about 15 more minutes. And I think with that time, oh yeah, we're not gonna finish this today. That's, oh, come on. See? Very dangerous. You always gotta be quick on your feet too. We're not gonna finish this today, but maybe we can finish these lower sections and then call it. Life is gambling, every second is a risk. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So have fun with it while you can. And I don't find maces very fun. Unfortunately, they were cool. They were a cool addition. First weapon we had in a while. But just not my thing. And that's okay. The devs don't create stuff just for me. I think we're gonna go to the lower sections. Come back to this later. AKA this weekend. After a mace troll, you lose one friend, yeah. Forgot I didn't have my wings on. And that's probably how I'm going to die in this world. Forgetting to not be stupid. I don't know. My goal is to make it to like the end of the world. Like I have a list of things that I want to do, and once I make it to the end of that list, if I'm still alive, we'll find a way to end it in a fun way. Or something. We'll see. I need to make it to the end, I think, to feel satisfied with this series. Missed a few blocks here. I guess we didn't really... We said we were going to get this when we got to it. I tried to be good with the blocks and like where I placed them, so that we wouldn't have to clear out too much, and I think that was the right call. I would have been a little perturbed if we had to take out this entire island. Not perturbed. It wouldn't really been that big of a deal, but would have been more on the to-do list, and that's never fun. Do not appreciate these vines, though. It's taking up my space. Please, thank you. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We're almost there. I can smell dinner. Haven't started cooking it yet, but I can smell it. It's coming for me. Another roof hub, make it look nicer. Yeah, that's definitely on the agenda. I just don't know what exactly I want to do to make it look nicer. It obviously looks horrible right now. It's just a couple portals and farms and exposed redstone ickies. But I just need a solid idea for it. I'm thinking, like I have a... Because you either do like a theme for the nether, or you do like a big build, like a big hub. And I don't think a big hub is the way for me to go. I think the smarter option is going to be creating a theme and then making builds around that theme, I suppose. I just need to, want to do it. I feel like it'll be okay as like one of those last things. If I do it that way, I think it'll be fun as like one of those last little send-off projects that we do in the world. Like fixing our nether roof after 3,000-4,000 days. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get like a shock of inspiration and we'll do something fun. Who knows? Just excited to get that far. Not really had a... Well, I have had a long-lasting world, but not quite like this. We're doing something different here. Something more challenging. Goodness, why did I put so much? Okay. You thinking you're gonna go till you die, or is there... Yeah, ideally until there's nothing left to do. Hopefully we don't die too soon, but if we do, oh well. I'm not too stressed about it because I have another idea for the next series that I am excited about. And if we get to start on that a little bit earlier, oh well. The whole idea behind, like, ending it eventually once we got all of our projects done is to be like Hermitcraft, like the way that they do their worlds. They build until the story is told and then they move on. And that's what I want to do here. I'm not going to perpetuate this thing just because, a number on my screen is going higher. I don't really care about that. I want to build, I want to challenge myself to build in a theme. And when that theme has been exhausted, or, we've completed a fair number of projects with that style, then we can move on and we can try something new. It's kind of the whole point. This is a very learning-centered world and experience. But yeah, ideally until we get rid of all of our projects and not die stupidly. These trees would definitely be a problem if I had them in right now. I've fallen way too many times and I would have smacked my face often. I think we'll be hard pressed to run out of things to do though. That's why I'm not sure if I want to do like a day limit or a episode limit or, you know, a completion thing. Because you can always come up with more ideas. So I'm gonna have to find a way to limit myself and not make it last longer than it should. And maybe there's gonna be like a natural end to it. And we'll know what that is when we get there. Right now, it's just uncertain. We're going to go for about 10 more minutes, though. See how much of this we can get finished up. I definitely thought this was going to take more trips back and forth to our shulker monster. But I'm kind of glad that it hasn't. I feel like that just interrupts the flow a bit too much. Also, I got this new mod called Peak in the pack, and it has been a very convenient mod to have. It's what puts the blocks of the most it puts the most common block in a shulker box on top. So like whatever I have the most of, it'll show on top of the shulker, and it is very convenient. Is easy place to take it out of shulkers? No, unfortunately I still have to middle click, which isn't that big of a deal. I just end up running through mouses and scroll wheels really fast. I wish it did. I thought it did. Like I thought one of the mods that I had set up earlier this year, like at the last video or whatever, I thought it had automatically taken stuff out of the shulkers, but no. Something changed or I was tripping. Hallucinating. I do think if we continue to do a variety of projects, it'll help us keep our minds fresh for the dark fantasy style. And then there's still ways that we can incorporate that even into like other mediums. Like this one, we're doing a tropical base, but we're still kind of going to throw a little bit of a twist to the farm itself. And it's still, you know, it's got a very dark aesthetic to it. So it does kind of fit with the rest of the world. But it's also different enough that it feels refreshing to work on. As long as we keep that in mind, I don't think it'll be hard to keep motivation up. I think that's something I have to remember for the future. Getting a little too hard on myself. Be good though. I'm excited to see where the series takes us. I really need to hit 1,000 days so I can put out a movie version and get that going. I've had a thumbnail together for that for a while, but it's taken me a while to get 2,000 days. Well, thank you for being here, Lottie. Have fun going to school soon, I suppose. Alright, are there any other small sections before we cross the threshold? Not. This might actually be a nice natural end. Okay, there's some over here we could do. That's fine. I think that's it, actually. Just on that side. Okay. That'll be good. Good little ending spot. Just in time. Like last time. I almost guarantee you that the creative stream that we do next week is going to be a lot shorter than either of these past two streams have been, because creativity is much more draining than just placing or breaking blocks. So don't go expecting another 4-hour design stream just yet. Gotta work my way up to that. I mean, we could probably go for a solid 2. It's about as long as my attention span is normally for designing things. Plus, I already have some of it out of the way, so it won't be that hard to pick up. We'll see. Maybe I'll get too anxious building in front of people. It's a lot of weird, random holes. Maybe if I remember, we'll get more music in the playlist too. Not that I'm getting annoyed of the songs, I just am noticing repeat songs frequently. Okay, I think that was it. I don't want to say goodbye while the sun's going down. But we're going to go over here, hopefully, and not die. I think we're going to start wrapping it up, chat. Thank you all for being here. I got quite a bit of progress done today. I'm going to try and finish this up over the weekend. Like I said several times, we'll probably be back on Monday for another stream. In the meantime, we're going to say goodbye. And thank you for being here. Bye, everybody. Appreciate your faces. And love ya. Oh, yeah, I could. Oh. Yeah.